Greetings everyone, welcome live to Orchard Road in the heart of Singapore for a very special event as competitive sport continues its long road back under COVID-19 restrictions. It is the playoffs, a 2-on-2 basketball tournament organised by the good people at Sports Singapore with two categories, the boys and the girls, 15 to 17-year-olds. We're starting tonight with the girls in the qualifying stages, and we've got a great slate of games to entertain you over the course of the next 3 hours. And alongside me to help call the action and what we hope will be a very competitive and entertaining evening's basketball is none other than the shooting guard legend, the former Singapore slinger, Han Bin. And it's a fantastic event, this, isn't it, Han Bin? We're great to be here. Competitive sport coming back, and basketball is leading the way.
Yes, I can't wait to check this out, because back then, if I had this chance to play here, I would be stoked.
Yeah, it's a very unique environment. This new basement indoor 2-on-2 court. It's in the B2 level of the Foot Locker store on Orchard Road. And thanks to our friends at Foot Locker for allowing us to use this as our base. There are 6 nights of basketball on the way. Tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and then the finals next Saturday and Sunday. So the two girls that are going to get us underway, the first of our scheduled 8 matches in this group stage today for the girls division. We start in Group A with Hillcrest Greys B team against the Siglap Bees. It's Alison wearing number 14 for the Hillcrest B team, and Lok Ting wearing number 27 for Siglap. It's Shane wearing 14 and Amelia wearing 4. And these girls, Han Bin, are aware that the cameras are here watching their every mood and move, and it's going to be interesting to see how they cope with the pressure, because there's going to be a bit of pressure on them here, isn't it?
I don't think I had any cameras pointing at me when I was that young, so wishing them all the best.
Yes, if you're not familiar with 2-on-2, it's 2 5-minute periods. First team to 21, whoever's in charge after those 2 5-minute periods are up. We'll explain the other rules as we go along, but straight away, that's the attempted layup that's no good from Lok Tiang. And they're starting at a ferocious pace here. Han Bin, aren't they? Going at this hard early.
Right, they look really locked in, and I don't think the camera is really affecting them at all.
It certainly isn't. And the shot clock violation comes in. It's a 14-second shot clock in operation here, which seems like a long time, but when you've got 2 and 2 and 2 matching each other as the layup attempt is missed. Not too far away from Alison, but it's possession back to Siglap, who are in the black, the Greys wearing the magenta green. And just running into a brick wall there is Amelia, who's wearing number 4. And our referee, Yong Cheng Wing, calls for possession to turn over. So we await the first score. Is this the first score coming from Lok Ting? She gets it back to Alison, who turns inside. A good movement, but the layup just not there, and we still await the first score with a minute on the clock. But these girls are showing some good moves, Han Bin. They're showing some good moves.
Yeah, definitely. It's just that they need to learn. I mean, they need to compose themselves and finish soft at the basket. So far, everything is just too hard, right?
That 2 in and out, and down it goes. And the first point scored in this playoff Sports Singapore 2-on-2 basketball tournament by Alison, which puts the Greys in front by 1-0. Now, needing to fight back and respond to Siglap, and the foul is called. How do you think the referees are going to call this game? It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because this is reminiscent of the kind of street basketball you see in the courts around the HDB complexes in Singapore, but this is going to be officiated properly.
Right. I don't know how the refs are going to call it, but I hope that they call some hard fouls rather than the soft ones, so that the game can get a little more aggressive.
Well, there was certainly plenty of aggression there between Alison and Amelia. It's very competitive here. Now, the girls, and the boys, in fact, when they start tomorrow, will all play 3 group games in 4 groups. We'll run you through the teams and what groups are in later on. And at the end of the group stage, it's the top team from each of the 4 groups that qualifies for the semi-finals, which are on Saturday week. That's the 5th of December, and the grand finals on the 6th of December. But a low-scoring affair so far, with the Hillcrest Greys having a chance to go 2 in front, but that layup attempt is missed. And here's Shane for Siglap. Thinks about taking the long-range jump, and both girls wrestling on the floor.
That's the aggression we're looking for.
Well, they're certainly not lacking in commitment, these 4 girls. I had a chat with them earlier, both taking it very seriously as that hook shot from Lok Ting Just misses the mark. And it's turned over again. I mean, we'll see the boys in action tomorrow, Hanbin, but are we going to have to get used to the girls not really attempting the 2-pointers from outside the arc? At this level, it's pretty difficult to hit those 2-pointers, isn't it? Particularly early in the game.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Is it because of the ceiling or is it because they want to get the easier basket now? Like back then when I was playing, I always look for the easy shots first, then you try to pull away with the long distance ones.
That 2-point jumper from Lok Thieng not a million miles away, and at the moment you have to say the Hillcrest Greys are looking slightly stronger of the two, but Siglap still in there pitching, and of course still only a 1-possession game. As picking up the loose ball there was Allison, and she's going to go for a big one and off the rim. That was the longest attempt we've seen so far, and I didn't catch that. That was inside the arc, that one, wasn't it? But it was very close to being outside. Oh, there's a trip there. And that's the first time we've seen our referee, Leong Chien Wing, rather animated. Now, here comes Shane again, as Siglap trying to respond. He's calling this game ferociously, our referee here. He's not taking any prisoners with these girls.
I really have to say I love the way the girls are defending. They are not waiting for things to happen, and they are actually taking it to the offensive players.
Yeah, their guarding superb, isn't it? The defensive work. I mean, it's going to be interesting. This could come down to stamina, couldn't it? Because we're into the final minute of the first period. Into that second period, there's going to be some tired legs out there. Look at that lovely movement, the layup, and just coming up with the defensive play, Amelia. That was wonderful work. She's the shortest of the 4 on court, Amelia, but she's making up for that with grit and determination. Now, the height in the team, Shane. Back to Amelia, and it's getting very congested in the backcourt here, and the shot clock violation comes in, and that's a shot clock violation that's really been caused by the tight defense from Hillcrest.
Right.
Oh, look at that, another fantastic move. The layup misses, though, from Lok Thieng, and we still await the second point in this game, and it looks like we're going to have our first period with just the 1 point, with Hillcrest in the advantage. They've got less than a second now to get this away, and they won't be able to get the shot off, so the very definition of a low-scoring half, that just a 1 point scored by Allison for Hillcrest Greys. And defence has won the day in that first.
Giving the opponent an easy time, and that explains all the shot clock and the low scoring for the first half.
Now, we've got to tell you, obviously, Hanbin is very well known for his time. Football has the Singapore Premier League, which is Singapore's only professional sports league. But Hanbin, you were a mainstay for over a decade in Singapore's only professional basketball team. You've got very fond memories of the Slingers, and you must be a little bit missing it a little bit now you're retired.
I have to say I do miss it, and I know that every basketball career has to come to a point that you have to accept that your body is not going to move like before. So I think I've come to the stage that I am learning to accept that my body is telling me it's time's up.
Well, it's great to have Hanbin with us, and we'll be having more Singapore Slingers dropping by the commentary position throughout the course of the next 6 game days. We're with you tonight till 9 o'clock as the second period is underway, and then tomorrow from 6 till 9 as the boys take centre stage, and then long sessions on They need to find a point from somewhere. And if there's a fault to be had here, it's the shooting. But I think that it's not the sexy part of basketball, is it, Hanbin, the defensive work? But they are really ferocious. The strength in defense from both pairs of girls here is very impressive.
I think this is the 2-on-2 that we are looking for. It's not waiting for things to happen.
Concentration, you can see. Great camera work here in this basement of the Foot Locker store in Orchard Road. Aggression, that was a cheeky snapshot from Lok Thieng. And the possession is going to stay with the Greys. 6 seconds on that shot clock, so they're going to have to get one away quickly here. With the move is Allison. Up she goes, and again it's off the rim and doesn't hit the mark. And with the rebound is Amelia. Amelia just trying to find a screen there. Look how well the Greys are defending. They're going to be reduced, I think, to trying to shoot from range here. They're pushing Shane right out wide, and again they force a shot clock violation. How good is this Hillcrest defense, Hanbin?
I think the score itself shows how good they are in terms of defense, and I really like that. I don't remember myself playing that close a D, and I think the way they are playing D is explaining why Siglap is actually finding a hard time to score.
They finally found some space there, Hillcrest, but they couldn't pick it up first time. Now, what's happened here? I think has that been struck off that basket? Referee's whistle went just after it was scored. No, it's going to count. So Hillcrest now, they need a 2-pointer to level it up, and they went for the long-range effort there, but they've given up possession, and now with just over 3 minutes to go on the clock, this is where these tired legs might come into play, because both these pairs of girls have been working very hard.
Right.
And I just think if you're a fan of Siglap B here, they need to get a point on the board sooner rather than later. They simply have to be the next team to score a basket, otherwise it's going to be a long way back for them.
Right. I do hope that number 14 from Siglap actually get the ball closer to the hoop.
And she's got the height, hasn't she? That was a good hook shot attempt from Amelia. That nearly hit the roof. It's quite a low roof here at this Foot Locker court, and if it does glance or touch the roof, it will be side out of bounds, so they've got to take that into account. It might be more of a factor when the slightly taller boys are on court tomorrow. Now, can Amelia get something away here? No, she can't. She loses control of it out of bounds, and the Greys, I think, are 2 minutes 21 seconds away. The Hillcrest Greys B team from registering their first victory, which they'll pick up 2 points for in the league table. Along with them in Group A, with these two teams is Nanyang Basketball and hashtag SCBBQ. I've got to try and work out what that stands for, actually. Do you know what that stands for, Hanbin? Hashtag SCBBQ. That's one of the teams.
SCBBQ.
That's hit the roof. That'll be out of bounds. No, do we know that?
Singapore Chinese girls?
Well, we'll find out. I'll ask the question. So we'll be with you. Games every 20 minutes, coming thick and fast, live from Orchard Road with great people at Sports Singapore getting live competitive sport back, and that was a wonderful finish. They really are now pulling away, and now, of course, it's a 2-possession game with just 1:40 on the clock. Let's hope we can see a Siglap B basket before the time expires. How close can you get? Amelia, she's been close half a dozen times over the last 8.5 minutes, but it just won't drop for her. And that's an ambitious long-range attempt from Allison. Didn't miss by much. But you can't see Siglap getting back into this now, Hanbin, can you? I think this hard work defensively from Hillcrest is going to see them to their first victory in the group stage.
Yeah, that's right. I think unless Siglap goes for 2 now, which may give them a slight chance.
They've picked up the loose ball again. More good work from Allison. Inside it goes to Lok Sing, and off the rim again with a layup, but she picks up the rebound brilliantly. And it just won't drop for them. But I think the poor old girls of Siglap B are running on empty a little bit here. They've battled so hard and worked so hard defensively. And I tell you what, she's going to feel this game in the morning, isn't she, Allison? She has left it all out on the court tonight. Just time for 2.5 possessions here. Call for the double dribble there, I think, was it?
Yep, that's right. I think that was intended for a pass, but she picked it up before the pass reached the teammate.
Look how she's still gritting and determined on defense, Addison. They want to keep a clean sheet here. You don't see many clean sheets in basketball, but Hillcrest Greys B team.
Oh, what a spin.
Are on the spin. Oh, it just won't drop for them. And as the shot clock expired, she gets another one away. I think the Hillcrest girls pause there, but still they come up with the rebound. Allison really working hard, and a fantastic big one. We pick up a 2 right on the buzzer. Well, that's some score from Allison. Gives Hillcrest Greys B a 5-0 success, and that was some spectacular way to bring the curtain down on our first match of these playoffs with Sports Singapore and the Foot Locker Hanbin.
What a way to end it. I think that's what we talked about at the start, you know, getting the easy points first, then try to stretch the lead with the 2s.
Yeah, and our commentary team were talking just before we came to air, Reagan Lees alongside Hanbin and myself, and we were thinking, will the girls be getting any 2s today? No, they won't start to shoot behind the line, behind the arc, but there she served us wrong in the very first game. Great shooting from Allison. Hillcrest Greys B beating Siglap by 5-0. They'll go top temporarily of Group A. We'll be back with another game in Group A in a couple of moments' time. Stay with us for Nanyang Basketball against hashtag SCBBQ, and I'm off to find out what that stands for.
Life. Is it about looking perfect? Eating perfect? Or is it simply about trying? A little at a time. Living life to the fullest. So that at the end of the day, we can tell ourselves, I'm doing a little better today than I did yesterday. Because hey, better beats perfect.
With Active Health, there are so many ways to kickstart your journey. So really, why not make the choice to enjoy active living? You can just pop by our Active Health Labs for fitness and health assessments. To learn and adopt habits to achieve your goals. And you can always get quick self-assessments using ActiveFit and more. You're also welcome to connect with us at our events. Our family of sport champions and experts will be here to guide you. Come team up with us at ActiveSG and Active Health programs. There are plenty of interest groups for all ages, as well as spaces to explore and get together. Move better. Eat better. Rest better. Assess your fitness and health. Connect with our Active Health family of experts and advocates. Team up with your family and friends to be better together. Act now to get started at betterbeatsperfect.sg.
Welcome back live to this incredible Foot Locker 2-on-2 basketball court at the B2 level of their flagship store on Orchard Road, where Sports Singapore have teamed up with Foot Locker and the good people at Nike to bring competitive sport back for the youth of Singapore with this incredible girls and boys 2-on-2 basketball tournament. And I was just going through the price structure here with Hanbin, and it's pretty impressive stuff. And you can see, we've already seen the Hillcrest girls beat Siglap by 5 points to 0. We're about to see Nanyang basketball team from the Nanyang Basketball Academy, and now they'll be taking on the Singapore Chinese Girls School, and they won't tell me why they're hashtag SCBBQ, but I did find out it's the Singapore Chinese Girls School. And then following that, a little later on, we've got a whole host of other matchups for you, including the Siglap A team. We've just seen the Siglap B team beaten. Let's see how the A's get on against Huskies Pink. And we'll also see Shenggong Culture against Kembangan Red. The Singapore Basketball White team against hashtag SCB Ball. And then YTBG against Kembangan Blue, and we round off proceedings with an estimated start time of 20 past 8 tonight for SG Basketball Black against Kwangxi Youth. So we've got 1 down and still 7 to go. And Han Bin alongside me. Let's go back to that prize structure, Han Bin, because the champions of both the boys and the girls tournament that we'll crown on Sunday, December the 6th. How about this for a prize? The champions get a 1-year product sponsorship from Foot Locker and an exclusive Nike experience. And I think you were trying to doctor your IC to try and pass for 16 when I told you that, I think.
I think I'm 16 right now. I regret that I didn't join. I thought I was 16.
The amount of work you've had on your bionic knee now, your knee's probably 16. It's just the rest of you that's 31. So the champions that we crown on the 6th will get 1-year product sponsorship from our friends at Foot Locker and an exclusive Nike experience. The runners-up, the first runners-up, get $1,000 in Nike vouchers, and that's going to buy you a few pairs of basketball shoes. Second runners-up, $500 of Nike vouchers, and the third runners-up, $300 of Nike vouchers. So these girls and boys, when they start tomorrow, are not here playing for fun, and maybe that explains why the Hillcrest Girls B team and Siglat B were so competitive just moments ago, and I'm sure we'll get another competitive match now.
Right, it looks like it's going to be a lot of twos right now because I can see that they are warming up with a lot of twos.
Well, it's interesting because we only had the 1-2 in the first game. That was scored by Alison of Hillcrest Girls B. Let's see who comes out on top here. We've got for Nanyang, Felicia wearing 26 and Shandell wearing 21. It's Wong Ru-Xin wearing number 12 and OC Schwa wearing number 10. And straight away, good defense, and OC Schwa coming up with it. OC with some good defensive work. Still our referee for this one. Shout out to Leong Cheong Wing. Oh, look at that movement. Lovely move with the screen. Misses with the layup though, but they pick up the rebound, and it's the girls in black of the
nice.
Singapore
That's a great
Chinese
touch.
girls school, who are in charge early with a big point, and they look very physical as well, don't they? In defense, they are really not taking any prisoners, Hanbin. Nice movement though from Felicia.
Oh, just at the buzzer.
And that beat the buzzer, didn't it? Lovely work. So very much game on here. And what are your early impressions of this one, Hanbin? These two teams look very skillful indeed.
I thought they were going to take a lot of twos, but right now they are attacking the basket.
And already we're 3 points inside a minute. Remember, it took us about 5 minutes to get 1 point on the board in our first matchup. So these 4 girls have got their shooting boots on. It'll be a possession over to the Singapore Chinese Girls School.
I have to say one thing that is really concerned is that they are very aggressive on defense.
Are you surprised by that, Hanbin? Do you think, I don't think there's any worry about these girls breaking nails or anything like that. They're fully committed to the basketball cause. And it must be refreshing for you, because I know you work passionately still inside the basketball community alongside the great work that Singapore and Sports Singapore do alongside the Slingers. And it must be really pleasing for you to see youth basketball being played to such a high level here.
Right. I think when I was their age, I don't think I focused on defense, and that's something I learned the hard way in the Slingers.
Well, the defense at the moment has seen the Singapore Chinese Girls School bump out into an early lead, and that was a misplaced pass that was picked off perfectly by Wong. And Wong inside gets it to OC, and they really are opening up now. It's a 3-point ball game all of a sudden as they look to join Hillcrest Grays B at the top of Group A early on. It's a very high standard and very physical here as well. But they're impressing, aren't they, the Singapore Chinese Girls School through these first 3 minutes. Oh, and another brilliant basket. Well, they've got their shooting boots on here. Shooting percentage through these first 3 minutes is must be knocking on 80%.
Yeah, and the fact that they are taking good shots, I think that's something pleasant to see.
First foul called on the Singapore Chinese Girls School as they reset, trying to stop Felicia making any magic happen. Oh, Felicia push wide, but it's another foul called on OC. And it will send Felicia to the line. This needs to drop, and it's off the rim, and they don't know what to do with it. There's some confusion. He's telling them to play on. Well, that was very polite of Felicia. Luckily for her, the Singapore Chinese Girls School stopped short as well. And of course, that's understandable because 3-on-3 is a more familiar concept to these girls, isn't it? Obviously, we're playing 2-on-2 because of the limitations with COVID-19, but it's understandable as that ball hits the roof that there's some rules that might need to be explained as they go along.
That's right. I think this is a very unusual situation, and I wouldn't know what to do as well.
Loose ball picked up by Singapore Chinese Girls School. Good hands from OZ. Wong gets it, misses with the layup, and the piece is picked up by Felicia for Nanyang Basketball. They need to get some points on the board in Nanyang. That came off a black hand last, and that's good officiating from referee Leong Cheng Wing. He spotted that, so it will be possession back with Nanyang Basketball. But they can't really afford. Oh, went for all the sweets there, and off the rim and out of bounds. Just look, when you get a chance, have a look at the expression on the face of OZ for Singapore Chinese Girls School. I've never seen a more focused young athlete in my life. She's really pumped up for this. They're starting now to try and shoot from range. Will she try and pull the trigger here, Wong? The clap of the hand suggested that OZ wanted it. She thinks about the jumper, instead running up, attempting the layup. What a beautiful finish from Wong. And now it's a 3-possession game just like that. She needs a big 2 here. And it goes wide, and the pressure's going to be on them now. They're going to have to start trying to take some chances, aren't they, Nanyang, from long range?
I think they have to really take a play at a time and not care too much about the score at the moment.
Well, of course, the important thing to remember, it's not straight knockout, it's group basketball, and you've been in those situations, I'm sure, at SEA Games. You're a 2-time SEA Games medalist yourself, that when you're playing in a group stage, it's always worth remembering, even if you're on the end of a bad result in your first match, there's still plenty of time to turn it round.
Right, so every shot counts, and you just got to take one shot at a time. And I think a lot of times when you focus too much on the end result, then that puts a lot of pressure on your shots.
Look at that defense. That was really good pressure from Wong that forced Felicia to go far too wide. Down to the final seconds. Can they get one on the buzzer? No, they can't. So it's a first period that goes the way of the Singapore Chinese Girls School. They lead by 6 points to 1. Now, we know Han Bin is missing the Singapore Slingers. If you're missing the Singapore Slingers during this tough COVID time, and fair play, the Slingers went on as far as is possibly possible, right, before COVID really kicked in and locked everything down. You can head to Facebook and Instagram to check out all the latest news with the Singapore Slingers, and go to their YouTube channel, the Singapore Slingers Home Court. Will they be able to find some great content with you on there, Han Bin? On the Singapore Slingers Home Court YouTube channel?
For me, probably not, but for the current players, definitely.
If they scroll down, I'm sure they'll find some stuff.
Oh, we actually started this YouTube channel recently, so it's something very new so that we can keep in touch with the fans. And of course, it's something to show that what we are doing during the off-season and things like that. Yeah,
well, the off-season, of course, has been tough for you, as it's been tough for everyone. We'll be looking forward to the ABL coming back. It's been in existence since 2009, and it has brought the ASEAN region together, arguably like no other sporting annual event has ever before. What we got, the Kuala Lumpur Dragons. Are they your main rivals, really, because of the old Singapore, Malaysia? Who would be your biggest rivals? You've got the Saigon Heat, the KL Dragons, Formosa Dreamers, Taipei Fubon Braves from Taiwan, the San Miguel Ala Filipinas, Macau Black Bears, the Macau Wolf Warriors, and the Hong Kong Easterns. It's got to be the Dragons, surely.
I have to say it's the Dragons, because just a fun fact for those that don't watch the ABL, we actually have this Straits Cup that is solely for KL Dragon and us every year.
So I'm sure there's a lot of heated rivalry there. And of course, the Slingers have done so well. What is it? 3 of the past 4 seasons you've made the finals, which is what it's all about. And you get that great home court atmosphere at the OCBC Arena. On those nights when the Filipino teams are in town, it's absolutely packed to the rafters.
Right. I still remember when I first joined the Slingers, when we first played the Philippines, it's usually about 80% crowd of the Philippines. 80% of the crowds are from the Philippines. But right now it's 50-50, so that's a good sight.
That was something that we like to see, bearing in mind they're trailing. The first point on the board in this second period comes to Nanyang Basketball, and they'll have a chance to reduce radar that they had on. Singapore Chinese Girls School has gone off a little bit, but they couldn't make that back-to-back scoring possession, the Nanyang Girls. And now the ball will be with Wong to try and get them going again. One goes inside. Look at the movement off the ball there. Marvellous stuff from OZ. And they do get that extra point on the board. And now all of a sudden it's a 5-point game again. So I wonder whether we're going to start to see some 2-point shooting shortly. Well kept in the court by Felicia. And she goes for the big one, and it's off the rim. I thought in transit that might well drop.
That did look like it was going in.
Oh. And that's the issue you're going to have, particularly for the taller athletes. Goodness knows how the boys are going to cope with this, because she's, I think, the tallest player we've seen so far, Wong. And when you're shooting from that far away, it's so difficult to get your trajectory right, because It's muscle memory with you basketball players, isn't it? Changing your trajectory, it's like asking a golfer to change his golf swing.
And I think Steph Curry shoots at 50 degrees, if I'm not wrong. So I don't know if he can shoot 50 degrees in this cage.
Well, we'll worry about that when Steph Curry's able to travel to Singapore again. But it's still a wonderful facility, this. I mean, you were coming in, I saw you, Hanbin, you were looking around, obviously, Foot Locker with this incredible flagship store. What a score that was. Just checking, they only gave the 1 point there, I think, was the foot on the line. Yeah, it was just the... What did they give there? Did they give a 1 or a 2? I think they gave just 1, didn't they?
Right.
Oh, look at that movement. Lovely stuff again from Oji, and she finishes it off perfectly as well. And now they've got their biggest lead of the game so far. Singapore Chinese Girls School are on their way to their first victory. It will give them 2 points on the board and put them level at the top of Group A with the Hillcrest Girls B team. Next up, remember, is Siglap A against the Huskies Pink. Yeah, as we approach the 2-minute mark in this game, I think they're going to have a struggle to get this back to even Stevens. Nanyang, tell us what you're doing. Just go through what the referee called there, Hanbin.
I'm not sure. What was that about?
Oh, the referee's called a technical, I think, there, because there was some coaching from outside the court.
Oh.
Which is not allowed. There's no coaches allowed inside, and they're not supposed to coach from outside. There's no timeouts, of course. So even with that protective face screening on, that referee's got good hearing, hasn't he, to hear the coach trying to bark instructions from outside, and it will send the Singapore Chinese Girls School team to the line with Wong with a high trajectory on the free throw, and it doesn't drop. They come up with the rebound, and it still doesn't drop. Sorry, the action coming thick and fast, Hanbin, but I wanted you to tell us about, obviously you're still heavily involved in the basketball scene in Singapore post-Slingers, and you're working closely with Sports Singapore to help develop these young future stars and SEA Game and maybe even Olympic athletes of the future.
So right now what we try to do is to create a platform, and besides that also a pipeline so that we can actually, or rather build a path so that kids these days can have a better chance at being better at basketball. And I think sports, there's a lot of room for growth. So I do see that right now what we are seeing is actually a great testament to what of all the good things to come.
Yes, it certainly is. I've been fortunate enough to commentate on the National Basketball League finals at that great, it's a little bit old-fashioned now, but it's still got a great atmosphere, the basketball centre at Aljunied. There's another basket drops for the Singapore Chinese Girls School. But the trouble you have with the club system here, it doesn't seem to cater, I was being told earlier, to the youth. So it's really, the onus is being put on people like yourself working with Sports Singapore to try and get this age group where their development is so important to take it to the next level.
Right.
On the right track.
So I think that's what we were lacking back then, but now I think things are getting in place. So I think I would say it's a good sign that we have a competition like that as well.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating to see the standard of the boys' teams that you'll see in action tomorrow. We'll be live on the court for you again at 6 p.m. Singapore time. But at the moment, we have to take our hats off to the Singapore Chinese Girls School basketball team with Wong and Oji cruising to a comfortable victory. Are they going to have a big 2-pointer for the exclamation mark? No basket, the travel call by our referee. He's a strict referee, isn't it? Any suggestion they were going to be going easy, the referees, in this event has been thrown out the window. But after our second game, a big margin of victory, and the Chinese Girls School, are they establishing themselves as early favourites of the competition with that performance?
I do think they stand a great chance to be sponsored by Foot Locker for 1 year.
Imagine that, a 1 year.
I'll be so jealous of that.
Yeah, look at the clubber they've got, and they're walking off court now with their Foot Locker gift bags, and we are getting ready for our next game, which will be NAP against Hillcrest Grays A. So that's coming up next. Do stay with us. Hanbin and myself will be back with you on court in, a little over, just under 10 minutes time for our next matchup. Stay with us right here on One Play Sports and ActiveSG with this wonderful Sports Singapore initiative as we start to get live sport back to Singapore in a competitive manner, but most importantly safe, observing all those COVID-19 protocols that must be in place. Stay with us.
life. Is it about looking perfect? Eating perfect? Or is it simply about trying? A little at a time. Living life to the fullest. So that at the end of the day, we can tell ourselves, I'm doing a little better today than I did yesterday. Because hey, better beats perfect.
Elliott in the corner as they spread it. Alexander, fingertip through the basket.
Xavier Alexander time again, going downhill, challenging Stevens Thomas at the rim. And
Elliott slides through, back to Alexander. Downstairs it goes, wide open look on that left-hand side. Elliott! Boyd knocked away again. Singapore has it. Bleck in the open court. Takes it to the hole, and that might just do it.
the long arms of Leon Queck to jump, anticipate, and jump in that passing lane leads to a fast break.
With Active Health, there are so many ways to kickstart your journey. So really, why not make the choice to enjoy active living? You can just pop by our Active Health Labs for fitness and health assessments. To learn and adopt habits to achieve your goals. And you can always get quick self-assessments using ActiveFit and more. You're also welcome to connect with us at our events. Our family of sport champions and experts will be here to guide you. Come team up with us at ActiveSG and Active Health programs. There are plenty of interest groups for all ages, as well as spaces to explore and get together. Move better. Eat better. Rest better. Assess your fitness and health. Connect with our Active Health family of experts and advocates. Team up with your family and friends to be better together. Act now to get started at betterbeatsperfect.sg.
We're back live at this incredible 2-on-2 Foot Locker court in the second level of the basement in their flagship store on Orchard Road. When you get a chance, you should swing by here. And our thanks to Foot Locker, who have put up that fantastic prize of a 1-year product sponsorship from Foot Locker for our boys and girls champions in this wonderful Sport Singapore initiative. You're watching the coverage live on ActiveSG and One Play Sports, where for 6 nights, tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, all day, and then the weekend after our grand finals, 16 boys and 16 girls teams will battle it out for the chance, so they hope, be crowned champions next weekend. You've already seen Hillcrest Grays B get the better of Siglap B by 5 points to zip, and we just saw a really impressive performance, didn't we, by the Singapore Chinese Girls School. The hashtag SCBBQ, gotta give them their correct title, but they're the girls of the Singapore Chinese Girls School. Wong and Oji, very impressive in coming out 11-3 victors against Nanyang Basketball. Felicia and Chandel, they didn't do too much wrong, but they were just too strong, the girls from the Singapore Chinese Girls School. Now it's Niang Poly up against Hillcrest Grays A, and bearing in mind Han Bin, the former Singapore slinger and Singapore international baller that's alongside me, bearing in mind the B team beat the Siglap B team quite comfortably. Bit of pressure on the A team now because they're represented by NG and Dawn, and they'll be expected to win because if your B team wins, it's almost taken as a given that the A team should be winning as well.
I think that really depends on how the coaches actually place the teams. Maybe they are equally as strong.
Oh, is there a bit of skullduggery going on? I've seen that before. You tend to get that, don't you? I think that's a tactic that sometimes the Chinese national badminton players employ when they try and use a bit of kidology. Now, this is a Group B match, so we've already seen that Hillcrest Grays B and the Singapore Chinese Girls School have gone to the top of Group A. And in Group B, we've got Niang Poly, Hillcrest Grays A, Siglap A, and the Huskies Pink. And Siglap A and Huskies Pink will play after this with a tip-off time schedule for 7 o'clock. But now we focus on Niang Poly and Hillcrest Grays A. For Niang Poly, now no numbers on their backs, and the only way I can tell them apart from distance, Han Bin, is that Isabel has got black and white basketball shoes on, and Beatrice has got red and black. So that's going to be a difficult way to tell them apart. But obviously, the girls of Hillcrest Grays, Engie I should say, is 27. Apologies, Engie. And Dawn is wearing number 11. You've been impressed with what you've seen so far, haven't you, Han Bin? The standard here, you've been kind of blown away.
Yeah, I think if this is the standard that we're going to keep playing, I think Singapore basketball does stand a chance in the national stage.
Brilliant, and I'm sure you'll be looking forward to what the boys do tomorrow, because this is the opening night of the event that we're concentrating on the girls' half of the draw. The boys will take centre stage tomorrow, and of course we're here in this great Foot Locker Arena, which is the leading global destination for speciality athletic lifestyle footwear, apparel and accessories. And this store is at Gateway at Emerald on Orchard Road. And it's their largest store in Asia, and it doesn't surprise me. If you walked up all 3 levels of this Foot Locker store, it's incredible.
That's right, something that we have never seen in Singapore before.
It's amazing. I've never seen so many first-class trainers in one place. Oh, my word, that was in and out. What an early big attempt from Beatrice that was, because it was the red and black shoes. And that's the problem, that you come within a whisker of starting with a 2, and instead you end up going behind as Hillcrest Grays get the first score. But these two teams look like they're quite happy to take a chance from range early on, Han Bin.
In fact, if I were to play this game, I would take 3s as well, since it's, 6-2s as well, since it's worth 2 of the bucket inside.
Oh, that's a nice bit of footwork. That was a lovely pick up and put down from Dawn of Hillcrest Grays, and they lead by 2. Some great movement.
Oh.
As you say, it's a very good point you make, because obviously, Han Bin, you're involved at grassroots now, and I'm a basketball fan, but at this level, sort of grassroots level, you're seeing it, and I'm really impressed by the defensive qualities of these girls. They are disciplined, and they're following game plans, and they are playing like players that are coached to a high level at the moment.
Right. So I still remember when I was playing, my coach always tell me defense is 80% hard work, and if the girls are willing to play some good D here, it shows that they are willing to put in the work.
Yeah, Isbell from the free throw line puts Niang Poly right back in it. That one's in and out. I get the feeling this is going to be a ding-donger. We haven't really had a close match so far. Hillcrest Grays B beating Siglap 5-0.
Pass.
And the Chinese Girls School winning 11-3 against Nanyang. No basket. Referee, who is now, this is Jeremy Go now refereeing this one, isn't it, Han Bin?
That's right, it is Jeremy.
Yeah, he's struck that one out, and it will be Hillcrest A's possession. They lead by 3-1. Might be about to be 4-1, but there's too much mustard on that effort from Engie. And all of a sudden, Niang Poly on the drive. Girls are coping well with this pressure, because I'm sure it'll be the talk of the town, this competition with the prizes so sensational. And I think as the tournament goes on and we start to see the cream rise to the top, we're going to be in for some really exhilarating basketball, because I was checking with the organisers from Sports Singapore, who've done such a wonderful job getting this event up and running, bearing in mind the COVID-19 restrictions we're working under. And everyone here, just to emphasise, is operating under safe distancing with the minimum number of people in attendance. That's why we're streaming it, so you can enjoy the best of the action from wherever you're watching across Singapore and beyond. Yet it was an open draw. It was an invitation as another bucket goes down. So there was no seeding in this. So you never know who you're going to throw up. They were inviting, I think, from the teams from last year's national championships, but 2-on-2 and 5-on-5 are very different beasts. So the groups could be lopsided, couldn't they?
Right. So I do think that they are actually used to this COVID situation, and I think that it has shown in the way they are working together as a team.
Well, this one, all of a sudden, the Hillcrest Greys A-Girls have just started to open up. Still with a 2 and a 1. 2 possessions, you will see Niang Poly come back into this. But again, fancy the need to be the scorer at the next bucket here. We're down to just over a minute and a half left of this first period. And again, the defense, she's a really powerful unit, isn't she? On defense, Dawn wearing number 11. And she is sticking to Isbell like glue. And the shot clock violation comes into effect, and Hillcrest get a chance to extend their lead even further with Engi using Dawn as a screen, and that's great defensive work from Isbell that time. And they go for a big one, looking for the 2 off the rim. They'll get a second bite of the cherry. More good work from Isbell. She's got some fancy footwork, but that pass, it's almost knocked us sideways in the commentary position here. You'll see a fantastic camera angle we've got there. That's a lovely camera shot, isn't it? Hanbin looking over the top of the court. Foul called as Dawn was approaching the basket, and she'll go to the line here. That's the only point on the board for Niang Poly so far, has come from the free throw line. Let's see if Dawn can go 1 for 1 from the line.
Oh, what a shot.
Off the backboard and drops. You impressed with that technique, Hanbin?
I'm not too sure about that.
Oof. The scoreboard nearly took a nudge there. As Hillcrest are really just starting to pile on the pressure here. So the Hillcrest Girls A and B team. The Hillcrest Greys Girls, that's off the roof. And of course the clock keeps running here unless they are going to the free throw line. So the games do pass by quite quickly, but none of these girls are leaving anything on the court. That's a lovely pass inside to Beatrice. Beatrice! Well, she had a second chance of getting that one away. Was getting it back outside is Dawn, looking for the run. Engi, she's directing traffic, telling Dawn where to go. And Engi now is going to go to the backboard herself with a wonderful layup right on the buzzer. Is it going to count? Yes, it is. They get the thumbs up, and a beautiful bucket to bring down the curtain on the first period. 6-1 Hillcrest lead, and that was a lovely way to finish that period, Hanbin.
And she called for the ISO.
Well, she's like directing an orchestra at times on that court, Engi, at the moment, sending Dawn left and right. And you can see she's just feeding the pace a little bit, Dawn. She's got Engi on her haunches as well. But it's a much better feeding when you go at the end of that first period with a 5-point lead, because in this environment, a 5-point deficit is a long road back with just 5 minutes of this non-clock stopping 2-on-2 action to go.
Especially with the ceiling as an extra defender, I think that's going to be hard to come back.
Yeah, so just a reminder, this 2-on-2 playoff basketball tournament brought to you by our friends at ActiveSG in partnership with Foot Locker, who've been magnificent hosts and, of course, provide that stunning prize of our boys and girls champions getting a 1-year product endorsement from Foot Locker, along with an exclusive Nike experience. So we've got to thank Nike, our prize sponsors, our broadcast partners at One Play Sports, and, of course, the Basketball Association of Singapore, who do such wonderful work. And the Singapore Slingers are supporting partners, of which Hanbin. If there was a Singapore Slingers Hall of Fame, you'd have to go into it, Hanbin, wouldn't you? My word, you were there right from the start, weren't you? 2009, just about? Were you there right from the start with the Singapore Slingers? You must be Hall of Fame worthy in Singapore Slingers parlance.
I actually joined when in 2010.
So just after it was launched.
That's right.
Oh, look at that. Lovely pass inside and finished beautifully by Engi. And now the gap is 6, so they're going to have to start taking some chances from the arc, which they do, but not enough mustard on that one from Beatrice, and it drops short. Just starting to feel the pace now, I think the girls maybe from Niang Polly. Dawn tries to turn inside. That come off a foot, I think. So possession will be turned over. A reminder, these girls will be back over the weekend to play their concluding group stage matches, with the teams split into 4 groups in each category of boys and girls. This is currently a matchup in Group B. We'll see the other 2 teams in Group B after this, with Siglap A playing Huskies Pink. And then it will be moving on to Group C, around about 7:20 tip-off for Shenggong Culture and Kembangan Red. Then SG Basketball White against #SCB Ball. And then Group D, which is YTBG and Kembangan Blue, and SG Basketball Black and Kwangsi Youth. So after this, there's still 5 great matchups to come live on ActiveSG TV and One Play Sports. But here, we just saw in Group A, the Singapore Chinese Girls School lay down a marker with an 11-3 victory against Nanyang. Here, Hillcrest Greys A are laying down a marker of their own because they've restricted Niang Polly to just 1 point here, and that was from the free throw line. They haven't scored from open play yet, Niang Polly.
I think in the league competition, they really need to just look at closing the score. So that might give them an advantage towards the end, since it's a a league game.
Storm misses with that one, so she's only 50% from the free throw line now. 1 from 2. Beatrice tries to get them moving. It's important for the Niang Polly girls to remember they've still got 2 more games, I should say, to play in this round robin group stage. So not beyond the realms, but the problem you've got if you lose the opener, it's different when the top 2 go through to a quarter-final system, but obviously the top ones are calling the top teams going through means a loss even at this stage could be, you can't afford any more slip-ups after that. Yeah, so NAP, that one drops again. Now it's an 8-point gap. And NAP still searching for that bucket there in overdrive now, the Hillcrest Greys A team, and it smiles around. Look at that smile on Engi's face. That's the only kind of smile you can produce on a court when you're winning by 8 points with just over 2 minutes on the clock.
That's right.
Long range effort. Well, that's a way to open the account from open play. That was a lovely bucket from Isbell, and they needed that badly. Still the gap is 7 points, but they might be able to go back-to-back with the scoring now. And with that basket before them, maybe they can build up some confidence.
They got to clear it.
Another chance for NAP. It's not going to count, though. That's such a shame, because it was a really nice shot from Isbell, but it struck off and possession over to Hillcrest Greys. Nice movement from Engi. Jumper off the back of the rim and into the hands of Isbell. But her pass to Beatrice goes astray as they try and work a 2-point attempt. And the clock is still ticking. Just over a minute to play here in our 3rd matchup of the night. That one's off the rim from Engi. And it looks like the Hillcrest Greys A team are going to join their B team and the Singapore Chinese Girls School with making winning starts to this ActiveSG and Sports Singapore 2-on-2 playoff basketball competition from right here at the flagship Foot Locker store on Orchard Road in B2 level. I hope you're enjoying these pictures being streamed live as we come up to 7 o'clock in the evening local time here in Singapore. More nice footwork from Isbell. And Isbell, that was cute. I tell you what, they've come on strong now. The game may be beyond them, but there's plenty of encouragement there that they might be able to cause some problems to the other 2 teams in Group B down the line. Hanben, you've been impressed with how they finished here.
Right, I think sometimes it's about getting the groove for the start, and who knows, the next games, and they can actually bounce back. Long range
2-point jumper is missed from Isbell, and that will probably just see the clock wind down for the final 10 seconds. And they've reached double digits. Only the 2nd team to reach double digits tonight, and they tried to go out with a flourish with Dawn attempting the long range 2-pointer. But having just seen Singapore Chinese Girls School win by 11-3, Hillcrest Greys just 1 point fewer. They've beaten the NAP girls by 10 points to 3. So congratulations to Hillcrest Greys A, and Hanbin and myself will be back for our next matchup, which is also from Group B. It's the Siglap A team against the Huskies Pink. That's next, as these pictures are coming to you live from the flagship Foot Locker store on Orchard Road. It's the playoffs 2-on-2 basketball tournament brought to you by ActiveSG.
Life. Is it about looking perfect? Eating perfect? Or is it simply about trying? A little at a time. Living life to the fullest. So that at the end of the day, we can tell ourselves, I'm doing a little better today than I did yesterday. Because hey, better beats perfect.
Elliott in the corner as they spread it. Alexander, fingertip through the basket.
Xavier Alexander time again, going downhill, challenging Stevens Thomas at the rim. And
Elliott slides through, back to Alexander. Downstairs it goes, wide open look on that left-hand side. Elliott! Boyd knocked away again. Singapore has it. Bleck in the open court. Takes it to the hole, and that might just do it.
the long arms of Leon Queck to jump, anticipate, and jump in that passing lane. Leads to a fast break.
With Active Health, there are so many ways to kickstart your journey. So really, why not make the choice to enjoy active living? You can just pop by our Active Health Labs for fitness and health assessments. To learn and adopt habits to achieve your goals. And you can always get quick self-assessments using Active Fit and more. You're also welcome to connect with us at our events. Our family of sport champions and experts will be here to guide you. Come team up with us at ActiveSG and Active Health programs. There are plenty of interest groups for all ages, as well as spaces to explore and get together. Move better. Eat better. Rest better. Assess your fitness and health. Connect with our Active Health family of experts and advocates. Team up with your family and friends to be better together. Act now to get started at betterbeatsperfect.sg.
Welcome back live to this. I think this has to be one of the most unique sporting venues in Singapore now. This incredible Foot Locker 2-on-2 basketball court. Well, Han Bin, the former Singapore Slingers, well, he's still a current Singapore Slingers legend, but he's a former active Singapore Slinger alongside me. Han Bin, is this technically a 3-on-3 court or a 2-on-2 court? I know for our purposes today it's 2-on-2, but would you traditionally call this a 3-on-3 court?
I do think that you can actually play 3-on-3 here based on how the court is set up. I think back then, courts were like this for 3-on-3.
But of course, you can't play 3-on-3 at the moment because
That's
of
right.
COVID-19, which is why this is great thinking from Sports Singapore and ActiveSG because we're all getting frustrated. All the sports I know in Singapore are desperate to come back. Everyone is pitching in, doing their bit to make sure we get back to normal as quickly as possible. We had the Singapore Premier League football come back under strict supervision, and now ActiveSG, Sports Singapore and the Basketball Association of Singapore come together to put on this incredible tournament. And do you know what I like about it most, Han Bin, is that it focuses on the youth, the 15 to 17-year-olds who I think have been arguably more frustrated than any other age group during this COVID-19 situation. And just like that, with great planning, ActiveSG and Sports Singapore and our friends at Foot Locker and the Basketball Association of Singapore get the boys and the girls together for what is quite a big tournament. 6 days of competition, a group stage and a chance to make it to the grand finals on the 5th and 6th of December with that 1-year product sponsorship from Foot Locker and an exclusive Nike experience up for grabs, as well as lots of Nike vouchers for our runners-up. So great job, everyone. You must be, as a proud basketball man and fan of Singapore, you must be very proud to see this happening, Han Bin.
That's right. I think regardless of what's the score, whoever wins, everyone's a winner here for the experience that you get at this place.
Now, here we have Siglap A in the white and black, taking on the Huskies pink. And I must say, I just told the two Huskies players, Ying Xing and Jing Qiang, that I was very disappointed they weren't actually wearing pink tops. Because if you're going to call yourself Huskies pink, you should be wearing pink. That was a nice pass playing in Jing. And there's some supporting from outside the stadium I can hear. Obviously, no supporters or coaches allowed inside the arena. Some solid defensive hustle early from Siglap. Remember, the Siglap B team struggled badly against the Hillcrest Greys B team. As a shot clock violation is called, and Siglap will restart and regroup. Here's Jolene wearing number 28. She looks like a calm and composed and confident player. Does Jing Qiang? Oh, look at that footwork. What an opening bucket that was. 2-0. And that's Jing announcing her arrival on the stage. Look at that footwork, Han Bin.
I don't think I knew how to do that when I was that age.
It's incredible. In a different direction with your eyes as much as your footwork.
And I think Eurostep is something of the recent years that is getting more and more common.
Now, what's he called there, Han Bin? It's called a travel there. It's come back anyway. Travel?
Looks like a travel.
Yeah, it's called a travel. So possession will switch back to the Huskies. Here's Jing. And Siglap get the quick turnover by virtue of a Huskies mistake. Jolene. That's a misplaced pass and it's pinched by Jing. Ying Xing off the rim. Loose ball, and it'll be picked up well by Jolene here. This could be a tight one, you know. I think if Siglap can score next here, this one might go ding-dong. She thought about the two-point attempt, did Ji Wei. Inside, bit of improvisation, but it's over and away from the basket. And once more, Ying Xing can pick it up on the charge. Oh, lovely move again off the rim. That was really unfortunate. Jing. She's doing this on autopilot. It's all about muscle memory, the way she's playing. As Ji Wei gets it to Jolene, who needs an option here, Jolene. Shot clock is running low, and shot clock violation. And Siglap at the moment not being able to find an answer to some solid Huskies defending Hanbin.
I think shot clock seems like one of the challenges for all the players now.
14 seconds seems like such a long time, but when there's only 4 people on the court and they're sticking to each other like glue, it quickly passes.
And every time you clear the ball, it seems like you got to attack right away.
Stuck a hand in there, did Ying. Oh, look at that, nice screen, but she wasn't falling for it, Ying, and she's forced the Siglap girl out wide for a long-range attempt. They pick up the pieces again. Siglap really do need to get on the board here. And they'll get the foul called. They'll go to the line with a chance to get on the board with 1:46 remaining in the first period. Big free throw this for Jolene. Get it and you're just 1 point behind. Miss it, and you could be in trouble because the rebound, as you expect, it's a huge disadvantage, isn't it? The free throws in this 2-on-2 scenario.
That's right. But one thing I really like to see is that they are actually, one thing I like that I see is that they are actually attacking the hoop, so they are not taking any easy shots as well. Or maybe it's because the defense is so good.
Oh, that was a really cute pass. That was a really cute pass to get the third bucket on the board. Ying and Jing combining beautifully. That was a really ambitious 2-point attempt from Zhi Wei, just not enough on it. I think, as we've already mentioned, the trajectory has to sometimes be adjusted, bearing in mind the height of the ceiling here. We've already seen in a couple of the matches the ball brush the netting that protects the lights at the top of this very unique arena. Well, Ying and Jing lighting up at the moment. That's in and out from Jing. And a big pickup from Zhi Wei. Tries to get it to Jolene, but it's a loose pass as they enter the final 30 seconds of this first period, where the Huskies Pink Girls are in charge by 3-0. Very nearly 4-0. Easy rebound pickup for Jolene. Can they get on the scoreboard just before the period ends? Oh, it just won't drop for Zhi Wei. And the last attempt looks like it's going to go to a Husky. Can she pick this one up, Jing? She can. Great recovery off the rim. Rebound is loose, picked up by Ying. Inside to Jing.
Oh, what a pass.
And that's a lovely movement. It deserved a bucket, that. Final second, this shot's got to go. And she didn't see the clock ticking down, Zhi Wei. And it will be a 3-point first period, and all 3 points go to the Huskies. But still competitive this, if they can just start to get those buckets dropping, Siglap, they can still make this competitive in the second period.
Yes, the game could go either way.
Yeah, Siglap was shooting 0%, including one free throw that was missed in that first period. If they can up that to 50%, they're getting enough possessions to still be in this contest. But they don't want to be getting much more than 3 points behind to stay competitive.
That's right.
Yeah, just a reminder, they're all battling it out for that exclusive 1-year product sponsorship from Foot Locker. I don't even think any of the Singapore Slingers that are playing now have got a 1-year product sponsorship from Foot Locker, have they?
Definitely not.
Crikey, what a prize that is. ActiveSG have been the driving force behind this, our schedule. We're with you tonight, tomorrow, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. local time in Singapore. Saturday and Sunday, well, that's a marathon session. I think Hanbin's glad he's got those off, because we're here from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Then the semi-finals will be between 2 and 4. That's on Saturday week, the 5th of December. And our grand finals will be a fantastic occasion between 2 and 4 on Sunday, the 6th of December. And of course, we're doing this in association with ActiveSG, Foot Locker, and our friends at the Singapore Slingers. The Singapore Slinger stars will be dropping in throughout the course of the 6 days of competition, as the first bucket in the second period, like the first bucket in the first period, goes to the Huskies. And they're just starting to lose control of their chances here. Siglap, lovely turn, wouldn't drop for Ying, but she picks up the pieces on the rebound. And now, with 3 points between them, I think Siglap have just got to try and concentrate on getting the board and almost forgetting how many points that the Huskies have got. Once the first one drops, as we saw late on in that previous contest when NAP took a while to get going, once you get the confidence of dropping one, I mean, you'll know that at any level of basketball, isn't it? It's like when you can be in a hot streak when the threes can keep dropping, and then you can go 2 quarters and you can't get one to drop for love nor money.
Yes. So one tip that I would give young basketballers is to get to the line so they can actually see the ball drop into the basket, and that may give you some confidence to start making some shots.
And at the moment, all the confidence is through the veins as the shot clock expires for the Huskies. It'll be Jiwei to Jolene as they try again. Back to the drawing board every time for Siglap A at the moment. We've already seen Siglap B been beaten in their opening Group A. Here, this is a Group B matchup with Hillcrest Gray's A team already setting a stall out with a double-digit score in the first game for them against NAP, winning by 10-3. This is Jeremy Go, incidentally, refereeing this one. Referee's doing a great job wearing those protective face masks as well to observe with all the strict COVID protocols. Here's Jing and Ying just off the rim. Jolene taking her time here. She's being watched like a hawk. She was waiting for support and they've stolen it again, the Huskies. Lovely pass inside to Ying and it goes down, and all of a sudden, just like that, it's now 6-zip inside 3 minutes. Well, this is not being an evening to remember for Siglap at the moment. The B team failed to score in a 5-0 loss to Hillcrest Gray's B team, and now Siglap A 2 minutes 40 seconds away from a similar fate. But they have been competitive, certainly in the early part. It's just been the shooting that's let them down, Hanbin.
Yeah, I think one thing is that picking up the ball too early, so that limits your options as well.
Yeah, and they're being hounded by a very thorough defensive display from the Huskies, which is forcing them to improvise with some of their shots, and it's not easy. I wouldn't like to try and do it. Looking for the screen again. She's trying to help her teammate without being on the ball. Ying over the shoulder, straight into the grateful hands of Jiwei. Now, come on, let's have something special from Jolene. Nice run and charge, and look at the block from Jing. And I think that's impressing me as well. Some of these girls' teams, even though the games are relatively safe, I mean, they're not going to be losing from 6-0 up with 1:47 on the clock. No one's taken the foot off the gas here. There's pride on the line.
Pride and prize on the line.
Yeah, pride and prizes. I should say so, not the shot clock violation. I mean, for these girls as well, keeping track of that shot clock is quite tough, right? Because a lot of these shots aren't hitting the rim.
Right.
And sometimes you haven't got time to reset. That was good work as they go 7 up. Oh, let's see them get one on the board here, Siglap A. They've worked hard. They deserve to have a reward for their hard work. But look at that, ploughing through the middle was Jing Qiang. And Jing Thian will go to the line. Siglap, of course, did have an effort from the line that they missed in the first period. Jing Thian, nothing but net.
What a shot.
Lovely. Good technique as well there.
Yeah.
And now it's an 8-point gap inside the final minute of competition. Lovely block and steal from Jing. She timed that block to perfection. A 2-point jumper attempt. Oh no, 1 point, sorry, getting myself carried away. She wasn't behind the arc, and she's inside now. Off the rim again. Now a chance for Jolene to finally get Siglap on the board. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Oh, great
Inside
pass.
to Jiwei with a lovely pass. Can Jiwei finish? It just won't drop for her. Ying Xin bring it out. Jumper attempt off the back of the rim and into the hands of Jolene. And my word, nearly came to us here on commentary. 16 seconds and counting, and it doesn't look like Siglap are going to get another possession to try and get on the board here. It's going to be a clean sheet for the Huskies pink girls. It's well recovered from Jing Thian. Can they get one more point on the board? Not this time. As time expires, and Siglap A have been beaten by the Huskies pink by 8-0. An impressive performance from the Huskies. Is that on a par with what we saw from the Singapore Chinese girls' school, or do you still think they've been the most impressive team of the night so far?
I still think the previous team is a little more impressive at the moment, but anything goes, right, in a basketball game.
Yeah, so stay with us. We've seen the first 2 matches in Group A. We've seen the first 2 matches in Group B. When we come back, we turn our attention to Group C. It's Shenggong Culture against Kembangan Red. That's next in this fantastic event, this live ActiveSG 2-on-2 playoff basketball tournament, the first of 6 days of competition, coming to you live from the Foot Locker half court at B2 of Orchard Gateway at the Emerald. Congratulations to all concerned as live sport comes back in a COVID-19 safe environment here in Singapore. Hanbin and myself will be back in just a couple of moments' time for our next matchup.
Life. Is it about looking perfect? Eating perfect? Or is it simply about trying? A little at a time. Living life to the fullest. So that at the end of the day, we can tell ourselves, I'm doing a little better today than I did yesterday. Because hey, better beats perfect.
Elliott in the corner as they spread it. Alexander, fingertip through the basket.
Xavier Alexander time again, going downhill, challenging Steve Thomas at the rim. And
Elliott slides through, back to Alexander. Downstairs it goes, wide open look on that left-hand side. Elliott! Boyd knocked away again. Singapore has it. Fleck in the open court. Takes it to the hole, and that might just do it.
the long arms of Leon Queck to jump, anticipate, and jump in that passing lane leads to a fast break.
With Active Health, there are so many ways to kickstart your journey. So really, why not make the choice to enjoy active living? You can just pop by our Active Health Labs for fitness and health assessments. To learn and adopt habits to achieve your goals. And you can always get quick self-assessments using ActiveFit and more. You're also welcome to connect with us at our events. Our family of sport champions and experts will be here to guide you. Come team up with us at ActiveSG and Active Health programs. There are plenty of interest groups for all ages, as well as spaces to explore and get together. Move better. Eat better. Rest better. Assess your fitness and health. Connect with our Active Health family of experts and advocates. Team up with your family and friends to be better together. Act now to get started at betterbeatsperfect.sg.
Welcome back live to the half court at the Foot Locker in the heart of Singapore. We're on Orchard Road at Gateway Basement Level 2. And we're delighted to be streaming these pictures to you live on ActiveSG in association with Sports Singapore and One Play Sports. Let's just round up what's happened so far because it's been a busy old evening already. We've already seen games in Group A and Group B completed. We'll next see those 8 teams we've already seen in action over the weekend. As we conclude the group stages, it was a big win for Hillcrest Girls B. Congratulations to Alison and Lock Thing. They got the better of Shane and Amelia of Siglap B. Then also in Group A, Nanyang Basketball with their coach Cindy went down by 11 points to a 3 to a fantastic performance by the Singapore Chinese Girls School. Wong and OC were in fine form there. Then into Group B, NAP were beaten by Hillcrest Grays A. Good start to the competition for the 2 Hillcrest points to zip. Siglap having an evening to forget so far. And now we move on to Group C and a team with high expectations here. The girls of Shengon Culture up against Kembangan Red. It's Shengon Culture in the white, Kembangan Red in the dark blue. And it's for Shengon Culture, Leka wearing number 35, Kareen wearing number 97. For Kembangan Red, it's Nicole on 39 and Jessie on 88. And Han Bin, Singapore basketball legend, is alongside me. And I tell you something, that physical prowess that Leka possesses, she tried to put to good use early on. And I think, having seen them warm up, that this Shengon Culture side could be very difficult to beat as we see Leka pick up the first point of the contest.
I think the inside game is a lost art somehow these days. And to see that for a start, that's great.
Yeah, she's all business, Leka. I was just having a quick chat with her before, and they are fully focused on getting the job done. And those Huskies Pink girls, who we were all very impressed with, Ying and Jing, they've stayed behind to catch a glimpse of what could potentially be an opponent in the semi-finals if they should get there. Or actually finals, because the winners of A will play the winners of B in one semi-final, and the winners of C and the winners of D will meet. Well, good response. Well, have I written off Kembangan Red too early? They've levelled it up, and we're due a close match, haven't we? The games we've seen so far, one team's been in the ascendancy into the second period, so I wonder if this is going to be the first close one we get.
It does seem like this is going to be the first game that we're going to go neck and neck to the last minute.
I'm liking the movement. Nice movement off the ball to open up some space by Nicole from Kembangan Red. And they draw the foul. So it'll be the +1. Well, this is the first time we've seen a +1 attempt on this Foot Locker half court, on this ActiveSG 2-on-2 playoffs. Well, that was never getting there. I think she wants that one back, doesn't she, Nicole? Never looked likely to reach the basket from transit. So that opportunity to open up a 2-point buffer is gone. What will Shengon Culture do in response? Leka battling well. Good no-look pass. Shot was a bit skew-if though, and Nicole picks up the rebound. I mean, talk to people that are new to the basketball scene in Singapore, Hanbin. Run us through the club culture, because obviously Shengon Culture, is that just a basketball club, or is it a Chinese community outside of basketball? Because some of the clubs have got a wider scope than just basketball, haven't they?
Right, so Sengong Culture is actually, I think, part of a religious group. And in fact, I actually play for Sengong Culture.
Oh, is that your team? And that's what a basket that is. By the way, they open up. They've got in a bit of trouble here, Shengon Culture. But you're doing very well, because I wouldn't have guessed that from your professional neutrality and commentary. But yes, but again, many of the basketball clubs, that's some response. My word, the quality of shooting in this game is brilliant. Shout out to Kareen for that long-range jumper. And we're down to a 1-point ball game. So yeah, just for people that aren't familiar with the scene in Singapore, we'll have international viewers here. Run us through the basketball communities that are sort of attached to, as you say, those religious clubs or other cultural clubs that are around Singapore.
Right, so different clubs are set up by different people, and sometimes it's from a religious group, or either that is from just basketball enthusiasts that are very interested into investing in a team. so that we can actually put up a team to compete. So Sengkang Culture is just one that ties up with my team to actually sponsor our team.
It's great. Obviously, it helps building sport and community around Singapore. Is going to the line again, Ken Bang, and it's Nicole again. And you can see a couple of fouls next to the ledger of Shengon Culture. Doesn't get serious, the fouling situation, until you get into the rounds of 8, 9 and 10, which takes some doing in this format. Leka draws a foul. Puts them under pressure, and now Leka will go to the line. I think we've been to the line more times in this first period here than we have in the other 4 matches we've seen combined. Oh, it's going to drop. It's going to drop, and it's a tied ball game, 4 each. Well, we've been waiting for a nail biter, and we finally might have one, Hanbin. These two teams look quite closely matched.
Right.
Oh, look at that. On the run to steal the lead back for Kembangan Red, and Shengon Culture off the side of the backboard that time. And the pass is not gathered. This one seems to be being played at a slightly faster pace than some of the other matches, and it's incredibly physical as well. Oh, cheeky! Going for the 2 right from the edge of the arc, and it was off the rim and out. Now a long-range 1-point attempt comes into the rebound of Leka with the fade away. And I think she was sending the basketball out for a cup of coffee that time. I think she momentarily lost track of her timing. Go on, I know you've got a Shengon Culture shirt underneath your Singapore Slingers shirt there, but would you like to call the winner with this one now with less than a minute to go in the first period and it being a 1-point game?
I do see that Kembangan can be a force, but then one thing that I really like seeing is the number 35. She really can be a force inside for Singapore, not just for Sengkang Culture.
She's got that presence, hasn't she? 2-point game. This to send it back to 1. That was a really snappy shot from Kareen, and they get back to within just 1 point. Can they level it up? There's still 30 seconds to go. There should be time for another Shengon Culture possession. They've got to keep out Kembangan Red here, and they've done so. Well, did she get the shot away just before the shot clock went out there? I think she did, and that works into Kembangan Red's favour. Oh, big attempt! And the 2 steals the lead with 14 seconds to go in this first period. What a turnaround from Shengon Culture. I think that was number 97, Kareem, with that 2-pointer. And all of a sudden, it's gone from 1 point. They might go again here for a 2-pointer. They do, surely not. Wide this time. But that 2-pointer from Kareem turns the game on its head right on half-time. And Shengon Culture trail for most of that first period, but they've led where it matters at the end of the first period. Can they lead when it matters at the end of the second? Best game of the night so far, this, Hanbin.
That's right. It's the closest game that we've seen so far tonight.
And there's a less of a Kembangan Red girls, because they did stand off Kareen a couple of times. They're almost inviting her to go for the 2. And she...
I think that's how I used to play.
Really? You just let them invite them to shoot, or you usually get invited to shoot?
It becomes a scoring game for 3-on-3 most of the time, but what I'm seeing tonight is more of a defensive game.
Yeah, well, interesting. They are happy to let them shoot and maybe pick up the pieces off the backboard as opposed to limiting their rebound opportunities, but all 4 girls have impressed in the way here. I think overall, when you combine the abilities together, this might be the highest quality game we've seen on the court so far tonight, and that doesn't mean any disrespect at all to the other girls we've seen. Still to come, the other game opener in Group C, which is Singapore Basketball White against #SCB Ball, and then YTBG against Kembangan Girls Blue, and then SG BB Black against Chanti. Those last 2 matches, of course, in Group D. So, having led for most of that first period, can Kembangan Red come from behind here? Kareen, who's putting in a girl of the match performance here with the pass to Leka, whose shots off target. Needs something special from Jessie here, or if not Jessie, Nicole. Nothing but net on the way down for that one, and we're tied at 7 each with 4:18 to play. Leka, well, she's rebounded her own effort there. That was sensational. She ran underneath the basket to the other side to pick it up, and picking up the point was Kareen to give Shengon Culture the lead straight back. This is nip and tuck stuff. You can't take your eyes off it, Hanbin. Oh, my word! Never mind how she scored it. How did she not touch the roof with that one? It came down with snow in it, and still the trajectory managed to avoid glancing the roof, and Jessie with a big 2-pointer, and now Kembangan Red lead.
That could be the game changer.
Off the rim. Well, we had a game-changing 2-pointer, or so we thought at the end of the first period, and now the 2-point throws seemingly flowing in. Nicole and Jessie. Jessie's got that confidence now. Will she try and step back to go outside the arc? No. She'll set up for the long range 1 attempt. The rebound's picked up by Lecker. Will they go for a 2 now to try and take the lead back, or just settle for 1 for a tie-up? Oh, that was dangerous play. But she's very fortunate. That was good thinking by Lecker, because she nearly got something on that, but decided to let it go out of bounds because she knew it came off Nicole last. Kareen inside Lecker.
Oh,
tie game again, 9 apiece. And Han Bin is in awe of what he's seeing from these 4 young ladies on the court here. And I wonder now whether the energy levels and the fatigue in what's been such a close game are going to come into play. Who is going to be the fittest pair here? Oh, Lecker with a lovely move to allow Kareen to go to the basket unopposed. And they reach double digits, and Shengon Culture get the lead back. 2.5 to play. They must get this. And they do get this. And now it's 10 each. Are we going to see our first game go to overtime? Incidentally, for overtime, it'll be sudden death. Next score wins. And at the moment, who'd bet against overtime? Lecker draws the foul as well. Lecker with the big play, and you heard Han Bin tell you she was causing problems inside. She picks up the one and a chance to extend Shengon Culture's lead to 2 for the first time in the game with only 2:07 left. Oh, off the rim and out. And it's still just a 1-point game, but the rebound from Kareen. Lovely spin, back to Lecker, moves inside, improvises a shot. And now Kembangan Reds with a chance to square it up. On the charge is Jessie. Kareen's been their more accurate shooter of the 2. And they will keep possession. And the clock will continue to tick. We're now down to 1:41. Just 1 point in this. You wouldn't fancy Kembangan Red if they allowed Shengon Culture to score next, but that miracle trajectory they found with the previous 2-pointer wasn't repeated there. It's hit the roof, and possession goes back to Shengon Culture. Lecker using her power to turn inside and open up the 2-point gap. And you're smiling there, Han Bin. You're really impressed by this, aren't you?
That's rare. I think that's rare these days. I think these days basketball, nobody focuses on the inside. And it's really good to see such good footwork and finishes.
Well, this partnership, this pairing of Lecker and Kareen are announcing themselves onto the stage here as real contenders for this 2020 playoff at the Foot Locker half court, and Lecker is turning on the style now with less than 60 seconds to go. They need something special from somewhere, Kembangan Red, to save this game, and they're not going to get it. Picking up the pieces, Kareen, and this is going to be the game of the night so far! And another big 2. And all of a sudden, just like that, it's a 5-point game. They can't stop scoring big ones. Jessie with the reply, and now back to 3, but the time is running out, unfortunately, for Kembangan Red. Well, this has been a matchup worthy of the final, Han Bin. Oh, in and out. That could have made it interesting at the end. Well, watching Han Bin next to me, he's enjoying this as a basketball fan. The smile in your face, you're grinning like a Cheshire cat. It's been sensational. Some of the shooting, some of the footwork, some of the play. With Lecker, Kareen, Nicole and Jessie. It's a shame there has to be a winner, but there does. And Shengon Culture and Kembangan Red with a big round of applause. They have really set the bar high. The best game we've seen so far tonight. And it suggests that Group C is going to be uber competitive. Congratulations to Shengon Culture. They've beaten Kembangan Red by 15 points to 12 with an absolute stormer. Han Bin, I'll leave the last word on this one to you because you enjoyed it more than anyone.
I think I have to say I'm changing my favorites for the tournament now.
Well, the Singapore Chinese girls score were the early favourites, but Shengon Culture have laid down a marker. And unfortunately for Kembangan Red, now it's only the winners go through from Group C. They could be under some pressure. We'll find out about the other 2 teams in Group C next. Stand by for SG Basketball White against #SC Ball. That's next up here at the Foot Locker half court for the 2020 ActiveSG Sports Singapore Playoffs, live on ActiveSG and Sports Singapore, along with One Play Sports, thanks to Foot Locker, Nike and One Play Sports, as well as the Basketball Association of Singapore and our good friends, the supporting partners of the Singapore Slingers. Stay with us.
Life. Is it about looking perfect? Eating perfect? Or is it simply about trying? A little at a time. Living life to the fullest. So that at the end of the day, we can tell ourselves, I'm doing a little better today than I did yesterday. Because hey, better beats perfect.
Elliott in the corner as they spread it. Alexander, fingertip through the basket.
Xavier Alexander time again, going downhill, challenging Stevens Thomas at the rim. And
Elliott slides through, back to Alexander. Downstairs it goes, wide open look on that left-hand side. Elliott! Boyd knocked away again. Singapore has it. Fleck in the open court. Takes it to the hole, and that might just do it.
the long arms of Leon Queck to jump, anticipate, and jump in that passing lane leads to a fast break.
With Active Health, there are so many ways to kickstart your journey. So really, why not make the choice to enjoy active living? You can just pop by our Active Health Labs for fitness and health assessments. To learn and adopt habits to achieve your goals. And you can always get quick self-assessments using ActiveFit and more. You're also welcome to connect with us at our events. Our family of sport champions and experts will be here to guide you. Come team up with us at ActiveSG and Active Health programs. There are plenty of interest groups for all ages, as well as spaces to explore and get together. Move better. Eat better. Rest better. Assess your fitness and health. Connect with our Active Health family of experts and advocates. Team up with your family and friends to be better together. Act now to get started at betterbeatsperfect.sg.
Welcome back to the Foot Locker Half Court here at Orchard Gateway, the heart of Singapore. Warm welcome. Hope you're staying safe and well wherever you're watching around the world. This is the playoffs, a 2-on-2 basketball tournament as live competitive sports slowly returns under safe COVID-19 measures to the Lion City State. What an event this is, organised by our good friends at ActiveSG in partnership with Foot Locker, together with our great prize sponsors at Nike and One Play Sports, our broadcast partner, the Basketball Association of Singapore and the Singapore Slingers. We are focusing tonight on the girls competition. Tomorrow night it will be the boys ahead of a big weekend of basketball action. We're bringing it all to you live. Already today we've seen wins for the Hillcrest Greys B team and the Chinese girls school A team were in fine form as well. The Hillcrest Greys A team were winners, as were the Huskies Pink. What a match we just saw between Shengon Culture and Kambangan Red. Such a shame there had to be a loser. Shengon Culture with the highest score of the night so far. And this is going to be interesting because this is SG Basketball White against, I can tell you the hashtag SCB Ball is effectively another team from the Singapore Chinese Girls School. And bearing in mind how impressive the first team we saw from the Singapore Chinese Girls School were, the standard has been set very high. I'm delighted to say as part of our coverage here, alongside me is a true legend of Singapore basketball, the now retired, resting those weary knees, Han Bin. And Han Bin, you were very gracious, went outside there and spoke to the two teams that just played out that incredible match. What did you hear from the girls from Shengon Culture and Kambangan Red? What were they saying to you after that one?
I think they're just very happy about the win, and this game, there's so much to improve on. I think what I saw right there is something that Singapore really needs in terms of being a presence inside the paint.
Now, we're so sophisticated here. Outside the court, because of safe distancing measures, is another one of our commentary team for this week, Reagan Lee Hanbin, and he's been studying these girls in warm-up. And what we've got here, SG Basketball White, number 2 is Entong, number 1 is Asha. For the Singapore Chinese Girls School, Maeva is wearing 5 and Sarah wearing 16. And he reckons that Asha in the warm-up has looked like a real sharp shooter wearing number 1. So it's going to be interesting to see how she gets on. Entong starts us. Here is Asha. Nice moving inside. Oh, she's left them for dead there. And I think Reagan's judgment might be spot on. That was a stunning start for SG Basketball White. But an immediate response. My word, big 2. And we're rocking and rolling early here. Asha again. Inside from Entong. Needs support here, just about gets it to Asha, under the rim, shot misses, and it's picked up well by Sarah. This is an explosive start here, Hanbin. Oh,
what a start.
My word.
2 for 2.
Huge effort from Maeva from outside the arc, and just like that, the Singapore Chinese Girls School are on fire again. That was an important bucket that went down for the SG Basketball White girls. Oh, nearly a hat trick. It didn't miss by much from Sarah that time. Well, they've come in with an interesting tactic here. Aisha with a bit too much on that one.
The Splash Sisters.
Travel called, I think. Shot clock violation, apologies. Just a shout out to our referees. They're doing such a good job here, Jeremy Go and Leong Cheng Wing, in this incredible event, which is brought to you by association with the Basketball Association of Singapore, who are doing such a fine job in working closely with the relevant bodies and Sports Singapore to make sure we bring sport back in a safe environment. And this incredible initiative that allows this competitive tournament to be played over 6 days in the heart of a Singapore shopping centre in this incredible Foot Locker half court, while maintaining everyone's safety. All the appropriate measures have been taken, and of course we can't really encourage spectators to come down, which is why we're providing this stream for you with commentary as that shot goes awry from Maeva. And it's just quite, and the pace couldn't continue from the opening 60 seconds of this one. The scoring rate's just slowed down, but again, they do look evenly matched. It looks like we're in for another treat here, Hanbin.
Right, I think they are using their strength for both teams. They are playing towards their strength. One is attacking the hoop, and the other one just flashing threes or twos.
Entong's reduced the deficit to just 1 point. Now on the move is
One more.
Maeva again. I tell you what, she's not shy to have a go, is she? Outside the arc, every time you give her a bit of space, she's happy to jump up in the air and let one fly. That was picked out. Coming off Sarah last. Aishi opened the scoring in this one. Can she now level it up with the 8th point of the contest? Just too much on that layup. The build-up play was nice, but the shot clock violation called, and the ball will pass back to the Singapore Chinese Girls School, who was so impressive, the other pairing from the Singapore Chinese Girls School, in beating NYBB. And again, well, I'm just checking myself here. All their points have come from 2-pointers, am I right? They've hit a trio of twos.
One more.
Oh, my word. Could have been 4 deuces on the spin. And it's interesting because it's a deliberate tactic, isn't it? They're not just doing this by chance. They're many ways basketball's a percentages game, right? And they're playing the percentage that they think suits their game. And you just see there from Entong's effort for SG Basketball White, it takes some adapting this court. You can't just throw those 2 attempts willy-nilly. You've got to make sure you're in the right position on the court as they go for one again. But this time Sarah's wide of the mark. Oh! And that's a very unorthodox attempt as well, isn't it? On the jump. Oh, in and out. Well, I think 8 of the 9 points in this one have been scored from outside the arc, right?
That's right. I think a few years ago, Golden State Warriors actually changed the culture of basketball as well. Like, we are moving towards shooting more threes.
Well, and again, like everything, I mean, I know you're a basketball purist at heart, but it's all about its commercial value basketball, and ultimately that's what the money shot is now, isn't it? It used to be the slam dunk. I think threes get people more excited than the slam dunk. It's just that amazing shot of the ball in flight and dropping down. I mean, what would you rather have, a slam dunk or a three?
I'm a three guy.
Yeah. Well, because it's worth 1 more point for starters.
That's right.
Oh, I tell you something, this is just long-range shooting from every angle from both sets of girls here. And do you think, I think it's safe to say the Singapore Chinese Girls School started it, but now the SG Basketball White team having to just respond in kind just to try and keep tabs as they go for another 3. And some of them that have missed haven't missed by much either.
Every shot is on target so far.
If they're not going in, they're going blooming close. So long range one, if the pot goes down. That was impressive from Sarah. And all of a sudden, it's made it a 4-point game. Right on the buzzer, off the rim from Entong. And that would have reduced the deficit to just 2. But a very solid first period. And again, a clinic in shooting as the standard of basketball we are seeing here at these playoffs from the half-court Foot Locker in Orchard Road is just on the rise. Really impressive stuff.
That's right.
Just having a look at the girls, as you can see them on the left-hand corner of your screen from our camera that's behind the basket. No coaches allowed here. Obviously, we're trying to reduce as far as possible, the numbers allowed inside the arena here, which is why there are no coaches, and obviously all the COVID-19 protocols being observed. And you can see the girls are taking it seriously with good reason. The champions in both the boys and girls tournament. Remember, the age group 15 to 17 is the age bracket. The girls starting tonight, the boys will start on Sunday. They'll both be in action across Saturday and Sunday before the semi-finals and grand final on the 5th and 6th of December respectively. The champions, each championship team get a 1-year product endorsement from Foot Locker, including an exclusive Nike experience. There's $1,000 worth of Nike vouchers to the first runners-up, $500 to the second runners-up, and $300 to the third runners-up. We're back underway. It's SG Basketball White in the white shirts. Singapore Chinese Girls School, hashtag SCB Ball in the black, and they lead by 4 points after an exhibition of long-range shooting from both number 5 Maeva and number 16 Sarah through the first period. Aisha wearing number 1 and number 2 Entong for SG Basketball White have to respond. They can't afford to concede another 2 early, but they will concede another 1. That's Sarah. Beautiful movement. Nice footwork from Entong, but the pass that was trying to play at Aisha, went astray. The way this game's going, though, a 5-point deficit is manageable. You wouldn't want it to get too much more than that.
Was it 5 points?
My word. Now, just like that, it's 7. Maeva is lethal. Must be a response now from SG Basketball White, and Asher gives them one. But still a 6-point ball game. And now the clock is ticking around inside 4 minutes. I thought for a second Sarah was going to go with a big 2. And the problem they've got here, SG Basketball White Hanbin, is they're a dual threat team from range here, aren't they? The Singapore Chinese Girls School with Maeva and Sarah both lethal from distance. You can't leave either of them in any kind of space.
Right, and SG Basketball, I have to say they have more tricks than I do.
Goodness me, how close is that one to dropping from Sarah? Well, SG Basketball White are going to start taking chances of themselves. And N-Tong with a nothing but net response. Well, they needed that badly. The deficit's down to 4. If they can come up with a stop here and get another deuce, all of a sudden this is game back on. They can't stop the machine that is Sarah, though. Powerful running on the inside. Another 2. Oh, and down it nearly went again. Rebound picked up by Maeva. Back to Sarah. Another pair. Down it goes again. And all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, the gap is 7 points.
She's on fire.
Referee Jeremy Go just telling them to take it back outside the arc, which they do. She can't go for a deuce again, Maeva. They don't care. Good block that time by Asher. Really good block. Now they have to come up with something quickly. 7 points of difference, 2:30 left. 1 point range, and it's fresh air. No prizes for guessing what Sarah's going to do here. Oh! Down it goes. It's Groundhog Day for the Singapore Chinese Girls School. I make that, I think I'm right, it can't be, it's at least 6 2-pointers, maybe 7. I think it's 7 2-pointers. 7 2-pointers for the Singapore Chinese Girls School. And they have set the benchmark for long-range shooting in the women's section of the playoffs tournament here at the half court of the Foot Locker. That'll be possession to SG Basketball White, who have been responsible from seriously impressive shooting themselves, but they've been left standing by 7 2-pointers. Now, as there's a 2-point response, just on the shot clock, out it goes. Maeva, deuce attempt. Sarah steps back. She's just inside there off the rim. I think the only time Sarah's missed is when she's been inside the arc. When she's outside the arc, she can't miss. Oh, that was a monster 2 attempt from fully 2 feet behind the arc line and just off the rim from N-Tong. So it's going to be a win for the Singapore Chinese Girls School. That much we know. But the story of this matchup has been the long-range shooting of both Maeva and Sarah. Nice work from Asher. Draws the foul, but can't draw the +1. So the foul is on Maeva. It will send Asher to the line. It's going to be too little too late. 9-point deficit. It's going to be too much to make up with 54.8 seconds remaining. But going to the free throw line for the first time in this one. And down it goes. These 4 girls have all had their radar on tonight, haven't they? Stepping back. Sarah! Thought she was going to finish how she started. Asher. N-Tong.
Oh, what a move.
Oh, lovely pass as well. Great team basket. In terms of short-range teamwork, that might be the best basket of the match. It's not enough to salvage this match for them. Lovely step back and a lovely finish from Sarah.
Can't miss now, huh?
The sharp shooting from all 4 of these girls has been sensational. 7 2s for the Singapore Chinese Girls School. Asher in. Oh, nice put away. Right on the shot clock, and it will count. Gap back to 7. Go on, sign off with another 2, Sarah. Why don't you? Oh, monster block from Asher. Taking no prisoners. She's seen enough of allowing them space to shoot for 2s. And what a matchup. A combined score of 29 points, the highest scoring game of the night so far. And it's the Singapore Chinese Girls School #SC Bball that take it by 18 points to 11 in an exhibition of 2-point shooting, a fine 10-minute display, 7 twos from the Singapore Chinese Girls School, and they've announced themselves as real contenders for this playoff 2-on-2 basketball tournament. Han Bin, a word on what you just witnessed in terms of shooting accuracy, obviously from the Singapore Chinese Girls School, but the SG Basketball White Girls played their part as well.
That's right. I think they played to their strength, and it's just a night of great shooting by the SCGS, right?
Yeah, Singapore Chinese Girls School on fire, and let's forget their other pairing have already impressed, winning 11-3 against NYBB. Next up, we move to Group D. The 4 girls teams involved in Group D are SGBB Black, Tranti, and the 2 teams we'll see next. We'll see those 2 teams after YTBG have taken on Kambangan Girls Blue in a 2-on-2 matchup at this Foot Locker playoffs, brought to you by ActiveSG, live from Orchard Road in Singapore. More from Han Bin and myself as we come across our final 2 matches of the night next. Stay with us.
Life. Is it about looking perfect? Eating perfect? Or is it simply about trying? A little at a time. Living life to the fullest. So that at the end of the day, we can tell ourselves, I'm doing a little better today than I did yesterday. Because hey, better beats perfect.
Elliott in the corner as they spread it. Alexander, fingertip through the basket.
Xavier Alexander time again, going downhill, challenging Steams Thomas at the rim. And
Elliott slides through, back to Alexander. Downstairs it goes, wide open look on that left-hand side. Elliott! Boyd knocked away again. Singapore has it. Fleck in the open court. Takes it to the hole, and that might just do it.
the long arms of Leon Queck to anticipate and jump in that passing lane leads to a fast break.
With Active Health, there are so many ways to kickstart your journey. So really, why not make the choice to enjoy active living? You can just pop by our Active Health Labs for fitness and health assessments. To learn and adopt habits to achieve your goals. And you can always get quick self-assessments using ActiveFit and more. You're also welcome to connect with us at our events. Our family of sport champions and experts will be here to guide you. Team up with us at ActiveSG and Active Health programs. There are plenty of interest groups for all ages, as well as spaces to explore and get together. Move better. Eat better. Rest better. Assess your fitness and health. Connect with our Active Health family of experts and advocates. Team up with your family and friends to be better together. Act now to get started at betterbeatsperfect.sg.
Welcome back live to what is turning into quite an incredible evening here. The opening night's action in the playoffs, a 2-on-2 basketball tournament being broadcast from the heart of Singapore at the Foot Locker Half Court on Orchard Road in Basement 2 at Orchard Gateway, organised by ActiveSG in COVID-19 safe environments with every regulation and precaution taken and observed. And we've seen a quality of matches tonight that really does have to be seen to be believed. The action has just got better and better. We started earlier on with Hillcrest Grays B getting the better of Siglat B by 5-0, and that would turn out to be the lowest scoring game of the night so far because the baskets have been buzzing since then. NYBB went down 11-3 to the Singapore Chinese Girls School team that refers to themselves as the hashtag SCBBQ. Then Hillcrest Grays A made it a double for Hillcrest as they got the better of NAP 10-3. The Husky Pinks beat Siglap A by 8 points to zip. Not a good night for Siglap. And Sheng Gong Culture in a stunning performance, getting the better of Kembangan Red. So the action coming thick and fast, and we're back straight on the court with our latest match. It's a Group D clash between Yishun Town basketball girls team and the Kembangan Blue Girls. It's Tanya Tan wearing number 79 for Yishun Town, Hannah Tay wearing number 23, and for Kembangan it's Lee Shi Lin wearing 39 and Bridget Wu wearing 52. And Han Bin, the Singapore basketball legend, is alongside me, and I hope this game is as good as the one we had last up because the stand has been sensational, Han Bin.
I'm getting a few shy hearing that I'm a legend. I'm not a legend.
I think you're a legend, mate. You are. And the girls have been treating you like a legend because, like the true ambassador of the game you are, you've been going out to outside the court to congratulate the girls on their performance. And what have they been saying to you? Because they're taking it serious, as they would do with the fantastic prizes and offer. But what feedback have you been getting from them about how important this event's been to them?
I think they have been generally polite. It's Singaporean girls are usually, our other kids are usually shy in our culture here.
But yeah, I'm getting a few words out of them. I mean, the one thing that's impressive, they're taking it very seriously, aren't they? I mean, this isn't a fun day out of the shopping mall. You know, most kids, most girls, 15, 16, boys too, 15, 16, 17, would be coming down Orchard Road to go clothes shopping. These boys and girls are coming Orchard Road to all about the business. They're all about here to win this tournament. It's being taken very, very seriously. As going to the line is Lee Shi Lin, off the rim. Can't level it up on the rebound, and a great pickup from Hannah Tay. Yishun Town, are they going to try and go from outside the arc here? Already it looks to be a different tactic being employed by both these two teams as Tiffany Tan finishes that one off for a 2-0 lead. First big two attempt, misses by a long stretch. I think we're seeing different tactics being employed. Obviously it was the tactics in the last game were wherever you got the ball, just try and shoot the basket. The coaches are clearly responsible for some of the tactics we're seeing out here today, aren't they?
Right. But one thing, they are not allowed to coach during the game, so I think
Yes.
this is prepared beforehand.
Which is interesting because obviously it's all very well giving the girls a game plan, but when it starts to go wrong, your coach's thoughts kind of go out the window, don't they?
So this is like the battleground, you're on your own.
That was a really impressive finish from Hannah Tay. Now, has that not counted? Yes, it has. Hannah Tay's basket goes down. radar is on early. They lead 3-zip already like that. We're just halfway through the first period. Good pick up by Tanya Tan. Oh, good pick up, good steal. Nice work from Bridget Wu. Goes for long range jumper. It's off the rim. And as we saw, the trouble you have if you don't score early, we saw this with the two Siglap teams. It's all about confidence, this sport, isn't it?
Right.
If you can't get on the board early, it's very disheartening to keep looking up at the scoreboard and seeing you showing a bagel. You need to get a point on the board sooner rather than later.
I think the scoreboard pressure usually gets to the head. So sometimes once they get going, it gets a lot easier along the way.
Yishun Town in control of this one. The other two teams in this group are SG Basketball Black and Tianxi. We'll see them next. There you have it. They're on the board. Good to see. Nice finish from Bridget Wu. Trailing by 2. Well, the long range shooting here, it's a bit like trying to follow a headline act at a music festival when you have to follow what the 2-point shooters were doing for Shengon Culture and Kimbangan Red, and then SG Basketball White and the Singapore Girls School. It's difficult to do. Yishun Town open up by 2 again. Nice finish from Hannah Tate. Oh, didn't drop from Lee Shilin. At this stage of a basketball player's development, Hanbin, as well, obviously, I mean, I'm not going to start talking about the tall players are better than the short players. It's too cliched. But at this level of their development, it's a huge advantage sometimes, height, isn't it? At the professional level, obviously it levels it out and players adapt their game to suit their stature. But at this level, to put it in a layman's parlance, do the bigger girls, do the bigger boys have a big advantage?
I would think that height is always an advantage, but that doesn't mean anything. Or rather, that doesn't mean everything. So at the end of the day, it's about how hard we work behind the scenes, and that will actually give you an advantage during the showtime. I have seen like American players that are maybe 5'5", that are actually imports playing for the country, playing for the teams, and they are dropping like 50, 60 points.
Yeah, so height isn't everything, and she's not the tallest girl on the court, but Hannah Tate just sunk that one to open it up by 4, and Kimbangan Blues just need to be careful here that it doesn't get away from them with a minute to wait before we start the second period. A 4-point game, and maybe the standard in shooting not as high as we saw in the previous 2 matchups, but nonetheless, they can do no more than be leading, and Yishun Town are flying the flag for Yishun proudly so far. Congratulations to Tanya Tan and Hannah Tay and Lee Shilin and Bridget Wu for Kimbangan. I'm just trying to work out the distance geographically between Yishun and Kimbangan. It's not exactly be a derby match, would it? Yishun and Kimbangan, what's the distance? Yeah, north and east. So not exactly next door neighbours, but I'm sure there's plenty of rivalry. What is the rivalry like internally in club basketball in Singapore? Can it get quite feisty?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I try not to go there.
Really, you don't get involved. You just let it. You just let your basketball do the talking. You don't get involved in all the nonsense that goes on behind the scenes.
I just play my game and I enjoy the game. And I think one thing that I love about tonight is seeing the passion of the kids. Yeah,
there's passion, and it's youthful passion and exuberance, isn't it? There's no nastiness to it. They love their basketball. They've been given this opportunity by ActiveSG and Sports Singapore to play the sport they love in a competitive environment, and taking that chance beautifully was Lee Shilin, and that's reduced the gap to 3 points, which was timely because they've been under the gun at the large part of that first period, and they've managed to get the stop from Yishun Town here again. A 2-pointer here would make things really interesting for Lee Shilin. Bridget Wu, up and over, and Bridget Wu!
Now we got a game.
2 unanswered points, and it's a 2-point ball game. And I think just a bit of exuberance there from Lee Shilin, trying to get things going a little bit quicker than she wanted. There's Tanya Tan. Oh, look at this. Just like that, Yishun Town are starting to wobble. They looked in cruise control, leading 6-2 at the end of the first period. And now, if Yishun
might be big.
Yeah. Kimbangan, they could square it with 2. They're not going to be greedy. They'll go for 1, but it's in and out from Bridget Wu. And that will be Yishun Ball. Going for two. And Kembangan pick it up. Taking it back out, Lee Shilin.
Oh, what a move.
Lee Shilin, are they going to call the foul there? No, they're not, but they're going to have to call something.
That's a great help side right there.
Just a shame it couldn't get finished off, and what's more, it's a turnover in possession.
I think the thing about 2-on-2 is the biggest challenge is the help side. How do you really help your teammate out when the court is so open?
Clearly, at the very top level, and these athletes in Singapore parlance at the top of their tree, as that one was deflected, I think, on the way through. These girls would have been training together in preparation for this. It's not just a question of a coach taking the two best girls, regardless of the chemistry, and putting them out there. These girls would have been training in specific pairs for this competition, right?
Right.
Well, this game has all of a sudden become tight. I just wonder whether the temptation will be there for Kembangan next time they're in possession to try and get a two to level it up. Tanya Tan, they come up with another stop, bringing it away. Lee Shilin. Is she going to try and pull the trigger on a long-range effort here, or just try and reduce the arrears to one? Great defense, wonderful defense from Tanya Tan. Stood really strong there, Tanya Tan. So it's been 3 stops on the spin. 2 for Yishun, 1 for Kembangan.
She's going for the dagger.
4 stops to level it up. Oh, I thought for a minute that Bridget Wu would get the 2 to square it up. Oh, that's a good bit of D from Bridget. She certainly improved as these 10 minutes have spun through. And there's still enough time for them to nab the win here. Yishun Town needs to get a point on the board. They haven't scored a point in this second period yet. They have now. Up and down it goes from Hannah Tay, and they needed that badly, didn't they, just to get their scoreboard ticking over again.
It's gonna be big, right? No, not this time.
Well, that's the pressure getting to them now, isn't it? 1:40 on the clock, a 3-point ball game. You do think to have any chance of winning this, they are going to have to hit at least 1 2-pointer. Can't see them getting the win by just taking ones from here on in.
Right, time is not on their side.
Of course, the nature of this, I suppose the game would go on too long if we stopped the clock every time the ball went out of play. They only stopped the clock from the free throw line. Oh, what a finish that was! Well, that was improvisation of the night from Bridget Wu. And now a 2 will tie it. So they need to come up with a 2 somehow. Bridget Wu inside a minute 07. 2 attempts. And it's gone wide and through. Well, a minute 02 is still enough time for them to get the stop and maybe get 2 1-pointers. But first things first, they've got to stop Yishu from scoring. This could be the ball game. Couldn't close it out. Hannah Tay, and just like that, another chance. Tanya. Bridget Wu off the rim. That would have tied it up with 45 seconds to play. So now another stop they need. And how many stops can they get off Yishun Town? Have only scored 1 point in this second period. So 35 on the clock. They need to get this ball back to the half-court line quickly.
Let's do a game.
28 seconds. The clock's not their friend now, though. Bridget Wu, can she go for 2? Oh, I'm not sure this is the right decision. I'm not sure that was the right decision. They needed the 2 there. Here's Tanya Tan. 14 seconds. They're just winding this clock down now. It's sensible basketball. They can probably... Oh, lovely, lovely pass. And a beautiful finish that wraps it up. Hannah Tay brings home the win for Yishun Town, but they only managed 2 points in the second period, and they squeak home in the end by 8 points to 5. And we'll see the other 2 teams next up in Group D. SG Basketball Black against Chianti. But a different kind of game, that one, but it was equally compelling. I thought for a minute that Kembangan were going to produce the comeback of the night there. They had chances to do so.
Yeah, I think they fought to the end, and that's what matters the most in the game.
Well, congratulations to YTBG, Yishun Town, and Kembangan Blue for a great game. Next up, SGBB Black and Tianti. We'll see them, and that's our final game of the night on this opening day of the 2020, the playoffs 2-on-2 basketball tournament, brought to you by ActiveSG in partnership with our friends at Foot Locker. This coming live from their famous flagship store on Orchard Road. They are the global destination for specialty athletic lifestyle footwear, and this is the store that celebrates basketball culture with a multi-branded basketball collection and this half court that we're talking to you from and playing from in B2. Get down here to give yourself a truly unique consumer experience, and make sure you get in touch with the Singapore Slingers, of which Han Bin was such a famous part for so many years. The only professional basketball team in Singapore, playing in the Asian Basketball League since 2009, when they can't wait to get a chance to beat those blasted Kuala Lumpur Dragons once again. 3 of the 4 seasons in recent times, the Slingers have reached the playoff finals, and we hope they'll do it again in 2021. Will the Slingers do it again in 2021? What's the squad looking like, Han Bin, for next season?
Of course, we will definitely do it again. I think that's the mindset that we always bring to the game, and I think in the last 4 years, going to the finals 3 times has shown that we have built a good foundation over the years.
We're coming to the end of our first night of 6 days of compelling action in the playoffs, live on One Play Sports and ActiveSG. All these boys and girls fighting it out for a championship prize of a 1-year product sponsorship from Foot Locker, an exclusive Nike experience with a combined total of 1,800 Singapore dollars of Nike vouchers up for grabs to the runners-up. One more game to come. Stay with us for it. We'll be back with Han Bin courtside in just a couple of moments for SG Basketball Black against Chansi.
Life. Is it about looking perfect? Eating perfect? Or is it simply about trying? A little at a time. Living life to the fullest. So that at the end of the day, we can tell ourselves, I'm doing a little better today than I did yesterday. Because hey, better beats perfect.
Elliott in the corner as they spread it. Alexander, fingertip through the basket.
Xavier Alexander time again, going downhill, challenging Steve Thomas at the rim. And
Elliott slides through, back to Alexander. Downstairs it goes, wide open look on that left-hand side. Elliott! Boyd knocked away again. Singapore has it. Fleck in the open court. Takes it to the hole, and that might just do it.
the long arms of Leon Queck to jump, anticipate, and jump in that passing lane leads to a fast break.
With Active Health, there are so many ways to kickstart your journey. So really, why not make the choice to enjoy active living? You can just pop by our Active Health Labs for fitness and health assessments. To learn and adopt habits to achieve your goals. And you can always get quick self-assessments using ActiveFit and more. also welcome to connect with us at our events. Our family of sport champions and experts will be here to guide you. Come team up with us at ActiveSG and Active Health programs. There are plenty of interest groups for all ages, as well as spaces to explore and get together. Move better. Eat better. Rest better. Assess your fitness and health. Connect with our Active Health family of experts and advocates. Team up with your family and friends to be better together. Act now to get started at betterbeatsperfect.sg.
Welcome back live to the Foot Locker Half Court in the heart of Orchard Road in Singapore. This incredible playoffs tournament brought to you by ActiveSG Sports Singapore in partnership with our friends at Foot Locker. Some great sponsors and partners as well. Nike, our prize sponsors. One Play Sports, our broadcast partners. And of course, our friends at the Basketball Association of Singapore and the Singapore Slingers, our supporting partners. So far tonight, what a start we've had to the girls tournament. The group stage, Group A, Hillcrest Greys B, beating Siglap 5-zip. The games got really exciting midway through the evening. NYBB, they went down to the Singapore Chinese Girls School SCBBQ by 11-3. Hillcrest Greys A made a double for Hillcrest on the night. They beat NAP 10-3. Then Siglap A, they drew another bagel against the Huskies Pink, who won 8-zip. Shengon Culture with the performance in the game of the night, getting the better of Kambengan Red 15-12. And then SG Basketball White losing out to another spirited display by the Singapore Chinese Girls School. This time SCB Ball 18-11. Congratulations as well to Yishun Town, who beat Kambangan Blue by 8-5. And now our last but by no means least match of the night, a Group D clash between SGBB Black and Tiangsi. And I think we've got the best named basketball player on the display tonight. Number 3 for SGBB Black, Lazada Santiago.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to her getting a basket, and I might have to wait a little while longer because it's her teammate Diana that sinks from the line to give SGBB Black an early lead. Nadia Heng wearing number 17 for Tianxi, and Wang Ji Yu wearing number 8 with Lazado Santiago in 3 and Diana Lazado. Or I should say Lazado Santiago and Diana wearing 0. There she is, Diana, who's got the only point of the game so far. Gets it out to Lazado Santiago. Inside, bit of improvisation. And that's well recovered by Diana. She looks very composed in possession, Diana. I think that might have come off Nadia Heng there. Umpire says no. Referee rules in favour of Qingxi. And just like that, we're all square at 1 each. Looks like it could be another close one here, Hanbin.
That's right. I think it's getting a little cold here, so maybe they are just warming up for now.
Are you feeling a bit nippy? I think they've got the aircon on here. See, if that was you out there, you'd be blaming the aircon for the trajectory of your 2-point attempts, wouldn't you? Saying that the aircon was blowing it left to right. Have you ever had that in an arena? Oh, no, not going to count. Didn't take it back outside the arc. Have you ever had that? Have you ever complained about the air conditioning as a reason for the long-range shots going astray?
I think that's something that I struggled with in the early part of my career when I had to come off the bench and score.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Hanbin. That was something special from Nadia Heng. It was only worth 1 point. It was almost criminal that it wasn't worth 2, as impressive as it was. But it was inside the arc. Remember, it's 1 point here inside the arc, 2 points from outside the arc. We play 5-minute periods, 2 of them. Sudden death overtime if required. And the girls are playing in a round-robin format in 4 groups of 4, with the winners of each group progressing to the semi-finals. Oh, wouldn't drop. Heartbreak for Lazado Santiago. Lazado, up and down it goes. And just like that, it's a deuce apiece, 2-2, in a very competitive closer after an action-packed 7.5 games so far. There's been plenty of highlights tonight, and there's plenty more to come as well. We saw the great display from Shengon Culture, beating Kembangan Reds by 15-12. That was a really high-quality affair, and both Singapore Chinese girls' schools teams, my word, they're probably not beyond the realms of possibility. I'm just working out the draw. Draw-wise, it's possible for those two teams to meet each other in the final. The winner of Group A plays the winner of Group B in one semi, and the winner of Group C plays the winner of Group D in the other. Three apiece. What are your thoughts, having seen the first 3 minutes of this one, Han Ben? Oh, there's the first two. I've kind of given you a bit of a helping hand watching that two drop in from the excellent Wang Ji-yu, because that's put Shanxi in the ascendancy. Are you making one of these teams favourite to this point, or do you think they're quite evenly matched?
I think they are quite evenly matched, and it seems like it's going to be neck and neck till the end of the game as well.
But as we've seen today, that ability to nail those 2-point shots is just so powerful. I mean, that Singapore Chinese girls' school match against SG Basketball, they won 18-11. If it wasn't for the 2-point shooting of Maeva and Sarah in that one, they could easily have lost that. The 2 points are so precious, and so far, only one of these teams has managed to rack one up, and that's Jiangxi. Travelling cool, and that was down to good pressure from Diana. She's forced the turnover. Now can they take advantage? Looking for the screen. Losado Santiago takes it on her own all the way. And it's now a 1-point game.
Oh, same move.
Not anymore.
That's the same move.
But it was a 1-point game for a fraction of a second. It's now 6-4 to Tianti. They gave them a taste of their own medicine there, didn't they? And the reality is it's just that 1-2-point shot that's the difference between them now. There's another good move from Diana. Keeps the scoreboard ticking over. Can they get a stop here and level it up right on the half-time buzzer? The question is answered very emphatically after a stunning 2-point shot from Wang again. Oh, nearly the perfect response. Just wouldn't drop. And now they're in danger of this game getting away from them. They've still got time here. The clock's down to 5, 4. Can they get the shot away before we get to half-time? They'll have to do it quickly, and that won't count. It was a good attempt by Losado Santiago, but it won't count. And how important was that second two of the first period from Wang Ji-yu? That could be the difference between the two teams. They've scored two pointers to none scored by SGBB Black, and it's only a 3-point ball game.
That's right. SGBB has been getting good shots at them, so I think the game still can be close if they stick in it.
Well, 3 points between them as they get their 60 seconds of rest. And Han Bin, I know you've enjoyed your day here. I think you're joining us again for the finals weekend, aren't you, on December the 5th and December the 6th?
That's right. Can't wait to see the young players compete for the prize.
And I'm sure you'll be logging on online while you're away for the next couple of days of action and checking out the action on the ActiveSG Facebook page. One Play Sports is what I believe carrying the pictures, so plenty of opportunity. Even though people aren't encouraged to come down here and watch, they can watch the streams online. And which other Singapore slingers have you got lined up to join us on CoComs this week? Have you got everyone practicing their speech patterns in preparation for being on broadcast?
I think this is our first time doing this, so I think many of them will be practicing their speech before coming here. And I think Delvin, Lavin, and Delvin Go, Lavin Raj will be coming as well.
Delvin Go and Lavin Raj, who became something of a superstar personality at the SEA Games in the Philippines. They all wanted a piece of Lavin Raj. And Delvin Go, of course, like yourself, one of the most prominent names in Singapore basketball over the years. Those Singapore Slingers will be joining us on the broadcast to give their words of wisdom to the Singapore basketball stars of tomorrow. So many thanks to the Singapore Slingers, who we are arranging this playoffs 2-on-2 basketball tournament with, along with Basketball Association in Singapore and our friends at the Foot Locker, and of course ActiveSG. So great to see basketball leading the way as one of the first sports back in a competitive environment. But what separates this... Oh! She's done it again! She can't stop banging home twos. Wang Ji-yu opens up the gap to 6. Well, Wang Jiyu, quite simply, is the difference between the two teams. She's hit 3 twos, Hanbin, and the gap between the two sides is 6 points.
That could have been the dagger for the game.
Some comeback required now from Diana and Losado Santiago of SGBB Black. Yes, we've mentioned this once, but it was at the start of the broadcast, Hanbin, so I'll mention it again. How proud are you as a proud member of the basketball community that it's not just basketball that's one of the first competitive sports to return, but it's also youth basketball with that really crucial age group between 15 and 17 where these young girls and boys have to decide in their heart of hearts whether they've got the passion, desire and commitment to take their basketball playing to the next level. How pleased are you that it's basketball that's back first up in a competitive environment, with this COVID-19 situation still ongoing?
I always believe that basketball is more than a game, and that's why I dedicated 10 years of my time to the sport professionally. So to see something like that, to kick off the tournaments, I think that's a great sight to see, and I'm excited for more to come as well.
Yeah, well, this is the first of 6 days and nights of competition. We're back on air tomorrow at 6 p.m. with the boys opening group games. Same age group, the boys, and I think it's been physical enough here with the girls. Goodness knows what kind of shenanigans are going to be happening on court tomorrow, 6 till 9. Then we've got a bumper pair of sessions on Saturday and Sunday. We're with you from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. as we have to get 16 games a day done on Saturday and Sunday as the girls and boys group stages are completed, and by the time Sunday at 5 p.m. comes around, we'll know the semi-final lineup for both the girls and boys competition, as all these boys and girls are battling out for the grand prize of a 1-year product sponsorship from Foot Locker, an exclusive Nike experience as well, and thousands of dollars of Nike vouchers up for grabs for the runners-up. Meanwhile here, they've closed the gap to 5 points. We're midway through the second period, and Diana and Losado Santiago, the 2 players of SGBB Black, have got work to do. And now, of course, if you're Tianzi, you're running down the clock as much as you can here as well, and that's a tactic I'm sure as the games get more competitive, when the cheddar's up for grabs, those big prizes, you're going to see teams working the clock a bit more. I think the girls today have just been playing without the clock really in their mind, but as the competition heats up, I'm sure running the clock down is going to be a factor.
Right, so I'm not sure at this age would they know how to do that. It will show a lot of level of maturity in the game.
But clock management, I mean, we saw it, didn't we, in the last game actually, between Kembagam Blues and Yishun Town. Yishun Town had an opportunity late in that second period to just kill the game off, but their exuberance to just want to score baskets nearly led to their downfall. They almost gave Kembagam another chance to get the 2 to tie it. This has got to go down, you fancy, from Diana, and it does go down. 4-point game, 1:46 to play. They need a stop now. They might get a stop here. In fact, they get a steal. Lovely work from Diana in hustle with Losado Santiago. Diana to close the gap to 3. And just like that, it's game back on here at the Foot Locker half court. SGBB Black on the comeback trail.
Is that the dagger?
Oh, but Xianthi with Wang Jiyu. I think that's the first 2-point attempt she's missed. Diana, she's helped them go to 3 consecutive baskets, but not 4.
That's a big miss.
That was a huge miss. Losado Santiago could have made it a 1-possession game there. As it is, the clock ticks round to 1:03. Another long distance bullet. This time it goes wide from Nadia Heng. Something special from Losado Santiago! She closes the gap to 1. Losado Santiago with the first deuce of the game for SGBB Black. There's 45 seconds for them to close the gap, and they've got possession back as well. This could be the comeback of the night. Losado Santiago inside under the basket. Can't tie it up, can Diana? Oh, brilliant defense from Nadia Heng. And it will be SGBB Black ball. Losado Santiago, 24 seconds, 23.9. This to tie it. Are we going to get sudden death? No, not this time. And he's given possession. Our 2 magnificent referees who've done such a good job, Jeremy Go and Yong Cheng Wing, crucially give possession to Ching Thie, and that might be enough now. There's not enough time on the clock, and the foul is called. But again, we talk about clock management there. That wasn't good clock management from Qingxi, because they can even get this free throw and they'll still have 4 seconds to try and hit a 2-pointer with SGBB Black. There was no need to go for that basket.
That's right. So I think that's one thing about young players these days. I think I was like that as well.
Really? It's the wonderful innocence of youth.
Yeah.
And that's, I suppose, the way the game should be played. Time is going to expire here in an absolute cracker. The closest contest of the day. SGBB Black nearly putting the comebacks out the fire. A wonderful late 2-pointer from Losado Santiago, ultimately in vain after Wang Jiyu through the first period had our 2-point shooting boots on quite brilliantly. So congratulations to Qingxi. They join Yishun Town, picking up victories in their first games in Group D. Han Bin, I'm going to let you go now. You've been brilliant. Just like to sum up for everyone listening how you found this opening day of the 2020 playoffs 2-on-2 basketball tournament with ActiveSG.
I really like what I see, and the aggression that we see today, the defense that we see today, and even the offense that we see today, I think that's a great sign to the development of Singapore basketball. So looking forward to the rest of the games and encourage everyone to actually tune in to check out this tournament.
Yeah, I echo those sentiments. Han Bin, you've been brilliant. Fist bump to comply with the COVID-19 regulations, as we have done all throughout the competition. Thanks to our referees there. They're getting their memento photographs. Jeremy Go and Leng Chong-wing. The refs were brilliant today, weren't they?
They were for sure.
And don't forget, you can catch more of Han Bin. Well, not so much Han Bin these days because he's retired, but all his Singapore Slinger friends by going to the Singapore Slingers Home Court channel on YouTube for all the latest Slingers news as we look to get behind Singapore's only professional basketball team as they prepare for the new season in 2021. Such a shame this season was to curtail because they were doing very well indeed. Thanks to our friends at Foot Locker for hosting us as well. Don't forget, Foot Locker is the leading global destination for speciality, athletic lifestyle, footwear and apparel along with accessories. The store is right here at Orchard Gateway at the Emerald, and it's their largest store in Asia. And I tell you what, you've never seen as many flash pairs of basketball shoes in one place in your entire life. Get down here, not to watch the basketball though, because we're observing COVID protocols. You can watch the streams on ActiveSG and of course on One Play Sports. Thank you to our prize sponsors Nike, as all these teams, 16 girls teams, 16 boys teams, battling out to be our grand champions at the end of next week to win that 1-year product sponsorship from Foot Locker and an exclusive Nike experience to boot. That just about does it. The 16 girls teams tonight have given us a thrilling opening day of competition. Tomorrow night it's the turn of the 16 boys teams. We'll be on air from 6 p.m. Singapore time. Wherever you're watching in the world, stay safe, stay happy, and make sure you're back with us tomorrow night at 6 for the next instalment as the boys take over in the playoffs 2-on-2 basketball tournament 2020, brought to you by ActiveSG.